gamers, and welcome to episode 503 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for October 11th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's been going on, Dominic?
All right, man. We did have a podcast for last week, but something on my end messed up. So, we're just gonna move forward to this number now, and we'll mention some things from last week, like in the news, of what happened, because it was a big deal. So we'll mention that in the news, and so we'll keep everything, and we're gonna start fresh. We'll just start fresh from now on, and have everything on time. Maybe. So
Don't make
anyway,
promises we can't keep, Dominic.
yeah. So okay, what's going on in, like, the sports world? My Commanders has been like, they've been going win loss, and win. So they're 3-2 right now. Jaden Daniels is back, so
Nice.
that's good.
Okay.
And we hopefully we can actually stack some wins, man. Like, actually win some games in a row. We're playing the Bears, who, if you remember last year, we had the Hail Mary, so they're like, their fans and maybe their team too, like, feeling like they want revenge, for what happened, because it seemed like at that moment they lost, like, they just fell down after that Hail Mary, like they just crashed, and they were just looking bad because they were looking like they were actually had something going the game before. Because I think that was, I'm not sure, but I know they played in London, and like I remember Caleb looked pretty good in that game. The quarterback. So this is the 1 and 2 quarterbacks going against each other from last year in the draft, and it's on Monday night. So yeah, this is going to be a big game, and I'm hoping we go out there and I hope we beat their ass. Like, I just want us to destroy them. I just want to have a comfortable win. Though the last, the games we won by, I forgot what the margin was, but it was 2-score margins. So they weren't like the by the end, it wasn't like, oh, I'm like stressed, like, oh no, can we hold on for this win or something like that, or can we come back? Nah, we won fairly okay. And the last team we beat was a fairly good team. They were the Chargers. And because they're battling with KC for that division, and they still can take the division because they beat KC. So yeah, still a good season for us. For the Ravens, not so much this year. Like, this year is going to
Yeah.
be one of those down years, possibly. Like, the Ravens are lucky, though. They are in a division that's kind of iffy. Like, even with their record, they can just, like, if they just go on a little roll. I mean, I've seen it happen. They can still come out top. Now, the Steelers, this seems like Steelers are the team. I feel like they should be looking like, we have them in this division. If they don't win this division, I think a lot of people should be fired, because this year everybody in your division is horrible or hurt. Like, Ravens got the quarterback hurt, but I think Lamar should be back by at least the next game. But then you have the quarterback for Cincinnati, who's out for almost basically a year, almost like probably not till like November, maybe he'll come back. End of November, beginning of December. I mean, we'll see. We gotta wait till, go through doctors and everything. But and Flacco, he just joined their team, so they're hoping that he can keep them afloat, because they have good offense. Really, they just need a quarterback, and then you have the Browns, who are the Browns. So it's this is Steelers' year just to take this division. Like, it's theirs to lose right now. Like, they should be able to take this division, but I mean, I'm still not really sure what the Steelers are right now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers and them, I mean, they're okay. They've done okay. They're not great. They haven't looked like you would think, like, oh, they're great or anything. So that's why I say the Ravens, even as bad as things look now, you might have a shot at, like, just making something happen because of how weak that division is. But so far, there's nobody's undefeated. Everybody has lost, unbelievably so, because, like, teams that I think shouldn't have lost, they did. And the Eagles, they have man, like most of the season, I mean, even the games they won, they haven't won comfortably, and fans have been a little upset. It kind of feels like almost last year they were kind of the same way to me because I saw like they were winning, but people were still upset. And there seemed like there's still like problems with the team because of like how they being like even though they winning, but they're not looking efficient. And I mean, in a lot of games they won. I mean, Saquon Barkley was it. Like he would have those huge ass runs, and I mean the man was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was like thank God for Saquon. But some people use the excuse, which I mean I kind of did too, but I'm not watching them all the time. It's like maybe they don't have to like pass the ball if they can just seem like just run it like they do, and maybe Jalen don't have to use his arm. But the problem is, and I've seen Jalen use his arm and he'd be good though. So I'm thinking like, oh, Jalen's good. Now this year though, I don't know what's going on. Like there was one game against the Rams where I feel like they should have won because it seemed like they found a mismatch in the fourth quarter with the wide receiver, their best wide receiver, Brown. I mean, they got two great wide receivers. But Brown, like, he was just throwing a guy off of him. The corner was doing the best he can, but Brown is so much bigger and better. It's like nothing you can do. And I'm thinking, like, why you just finding that out in the fourth quarter? I could have found out in sometime in the first half. This game could have been over. It's like did the NFL told you how to do this to keep people in their seats? But but anyway, they won that game. But man, now the offense seemed like they don't have no flow to him, man. They like Saquon is not doing good this year. Like he's not being the guy he was last year. And it seems like Jalen Hurts can't find these guys that on this offense as easily like and sometimes you will see last year what happened. And like, yeah, their fans are just pissed. They're like, what the heck is going on? And like they lost to the Broncos. Then they lost Thursday night to the Giants. Giants are bad. And it's like, oh my God, the Giants freaking beat them. And they beat them pretty like almost handily, basically. Like it was a whole lot easier than you thought it would be. Like, yeah, by the end, yeah, they were just kicking butt with their two rookies. They got a rookie quarterback now who took over for Russell, Dart, who's looking good. The people now Giants feel like they have a future quarterback now, and then they got a rookie running back, Scatterboo. That's his name, and he just be kicking butt. And yeah, man, they were both just kicking butt and having fun that game, man. I was like, man, good for you guys. But yeah. So Philly, I mean, they got some stuff to get through. They get some act together. And what's sad for them is that was the worst thing that happened to them that night, though. That game, losing to the Giants, and getting like beat up by the last place Giants. It was them losing in the playoffs, the baseball playoff game, the Phillies losing to the Dodgers, but it's the way they lost with the pitcher Kirtridge overthrowing the man at the plate, his catcher, to get the out when he didn't even have to go to the catcher. Right. It was 2 outs. Could have went to first, but he had a brain freeze and just lobbed it like it was hot potato or something, man. Just he didn't even like it was nowhere near the catcher can catch it. The catcher was pointing at first. Yeah. He was pointing at first, and the guy threw it. And I guess maybe he thought he was seeing him say, "Give me the ball," but you didn't even throw at him. You didn't even throw it at the catcher. So I don't know, man. It's a sad thing because that will live in infamy. You know, like that play, and it's not the reason y'all lost. I mean, it's the reason y'all lost. Yes, right, that game, but not the series really, because your best hitters weren't hitting, man, and that was a problem. Y'all, yeah, your best hitters weren't hitting, and that sucked. I mean, it was kind of on both sides. I mean, Ohtani ain't doing nothing, but then again, Ohtani ain't do nothing last year. So that's how good Dodgers are. Yeah. Because Ohtani didn't do nothing in the playoffs last year. He doesn't have to, honestly. He can go over for really because of how good this freaking team is with all the bats they got. Like, I'm more, and be honest, as good as Ohtani is, I'm more afraid of Freeman and Betts because they have both won before even being the Dodgers, they both won World Series, and they both have been MVPs. Like, they are freaking awesome. They're both going to the Hall of Fame one time. I mean, in like sometime in the future. Yeah. But like those guys are clutch. They've been in that situation. They've taken help lead teams and stuff. Those are the people I'm afraid of. Otani, like you always seen it, and I'm seeing it so far. It's like, I mean, no, he can get you, like, but it's not. I would, if I'm going to take, like, if I'm going to pitch somebody, it'll be him over them. Really, I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
But that's just to also tell you that this team is just so good, and it's not fair, man. I'm sorry, it's not. The way that baseball has set it up for, like, the way you can get players like overseas that they don't have to enter the draft. It's a bidding war, and it's a thing they made a deal with the league over there, which I don't care. I'm fine with them making a deal with the league over there. I understand because they're losing players to you, so those teams should get money if you're going after those players. Then I'm fine with that. But I feel like it should be the league that pays them, not the Pacific teams that put the money up. It should be like a league thing, like where but I guess everybody puts money up for those players to get into the draft, not where you can bid on them like free agents. Because it's just not fair. Because at that point, it's just that, well, I know Baltimore's ain't gonna do it. Like the only bidding war we ever win is against the middle, like players that's okay. We'll win that one. like, but we're never gonna get the best player, are we? Like, we're never gonna get the best guy unless they turn out. I mean, only thing you have to hope is that, well, this guy who looks like he was okay, he actually turns out to be super great. And the guy they got who was supposed to be super great actually turns out terrible. That's the only thing I can hope. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, it don't matter which teams. Yeah, you take. It's always you always taking a chance, but you got enough money to. If you lose out, it's like, oh well, yeah, we'd all help you. Just do it again because we'll get that money back. They get that money back. So especially LA. But yeah. So Dodgers there again. They're waiting for the winner. By the time you hear this podcast, we'll be in the freaking championship series. But they're waiting for the winner between Milwaukee and Cubs. Yankees lost. Thank you, Jesus. And Toronto, they are in the American League Championship Series. I forgot the last time they've been there, but it's been a while. And they're waiting for the winner. Well, no, they're playing against Seattle. Seattle's already won. So it's the Mariners versus the Blue Jays. Only kind of rooting for the Mariners just because they've never been. But it doesn't matter. I like both of those teams are good teams. I have no hate, even though Toronto's in my division. But I don't hate them. I don't really hate any team except for the Yankees in my division, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you have, and the only team I'm rooting for against is the Dodgers, really, right now. It was the Yankees and Dodgers. Now it's just the Dodgers. And I feel like if Milwaukee loses against the Cubs, I think Dodgers are definitely going to the World Series. I just don't see Cubs beating them. I mean, I hope they do, but I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I see Milwaukee beating them, having a better matchup against them. I think that's it. Oh yeah, WNBA Aces won. They have won the last 3 out of the last 4 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, really, really good for them, man. But they swept this team. It was really no contest in this series. Kind of sucks. I'm trying to think if Minnesota was healthy, would it have been a better matchup? They would have had a better series. This is the first 4 out of 7. I mean, maybe I said 4 out of 7. Yeah, if they won 4 games, 4-7 series that the WNBA has done. They usually do 3 out of 5. So that's different. But next year we get new teams, and so that means people will be going different places, and of course some people might be free agents, so they might be going places too. So it's going to be pretty different next year. And I think even the following year, I think a new team supposed to be coming. So it's going to be the league is sort of growing. Even though the team Houston, the one that won the first 4 championships, they still don't exist anymore. That's what I was thinking. Like, hey, are they coming back? They say, nah, they ain't coming back. I said, darn. So that kind of sucks. Like the team that won the first 4 doesn't even have a team no more. So that's it. So got any wrestling news, man?
All right. Yeah, so wrestling, WWE has their crown. What is it? I was gonna say Crown Royal. Their
Crown Jewel.
Yeah, Crown Jewel. Thank you. Their Crown Jewel.
Yeah, because I hear it all the time. Because I so much ESPN stuff. I hear that. I see that all the time.
Yep. Yeah, so they had that this morning. I think at this point, by the time we're recording this, it's actually over. I haven't seen any of it outside of some clips so far. But it sounds like at least the John Cena versus AJ Styles match was pretty good, which is nice to see. It's kind of crazy that we're winding down to John Cena's last match, and this year has really been kind of a flop for him. I was telling another buddy of mine, like, it feels like for as big as that man has been for this company, they should be doing like video packages every week, kind of counting down to the days that he's going to be gone. And like, I get when he was a heel, you couldn't really do that, but now he's a face again, and now we're kind of just winding it down. Like, they basically did that when Triple H was going into the Hall of Fame last year. Like, every week was a new video package about how awesome he is. And it really starts to make you wonder, is it just like Triple H's hubris? Is it John Cena saying like, oh no, I don't need all that? Or is it the company saying like, oh, we don't want to make this one guy bigger than our product because then he's going to go away, and then what do we have? Because right now they're really kind of in this lull. Like, they've got a relatively slim roster compared to what they've had in the past, yet they still can't find a way to get all of these people on television despite having, a significant number of hours of television to fill each week, which they seem to struggle with because their writing is pretty mediocre. It's kind of a crazy thing that they're dealing with right now. It's not Vince bad. It's not Vince at the end bad necessarily, but it's really just getting kind of stale. And for the fact that they're, doubling, tripling, quadrupling ticket prices, and now, they've got the ESPN deal where it's even harder to watch all of their product in one consolidated point. It's just, I don't know. They might falter because of their own hubris as a company. And they're doing all that stuff, and then outside of the wrestling stuff, you got Triple H and Stephanie showing up at the White House and palling around with RFK and trying to sell you a scam like phone frequency blockers or something like that. They're putting these things on the poles in WWE matches to block the EMFs or something like that, the electromagnetic fields that are wrecking your brains. Like, I have a feeling that they might start, seeing the downfall of that stuff, and hopefully it comes sooner rather than later, and maybe that opens their eyes to this stuff. As a business, I don't know that, like I said, you don't want to make John Cena one man larger than your product. I think if you're Nick Khan or any of these guys in TKO leadership, like, do you look at Triple H and go like, oh, hey, this guy is, get maybe a little too big for his britches. We gotta make sure he understands that this isn't the Triple H show. We can find another person that does the same thing. In fact, hey, you got Shawn Michaels doing that in NXT right now, and a lot of people said that with Vince. We had Triple H running a fantastic NXT show during that time. Well, time comes for all of us, and right now Shawn Michaels is putting on a lot more interesting NXT show than some of this stuff that's going on the main roster of WWE. So, if things continue to look bad for them and they start to actually not be able to sell out these shows like they were last year, maybe we do see a shakeup. It's not the family business anymore. It's not Vince's product. It's now a publicly traded company that has, a board. I mean, they had that with WWE. WWE is a publicly traded company, but the reality was Vince had, the majority of the shares, and he was the guy in charge of everything. But at the end of the day, we saw what happened with him. He got forced out even. So clearly no man is bigger than the product. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, AEW is still just kind of trucking along, doing their own thing, which I think is the safe spot for them. Like, they don't necessarily need to be competing with WWE when WWE tries to counter program them and put a show on the same time. You know, just step out of their way like they have been. Start your shows a little earlier. You know, people might actually enjoy that, especially if you're doing it on a Sunday where I've got to go to work on Monday anyway. You know, put it on Sunday at 4 o'clock or something like that. Let me finish it before dinner time, and I think we're doing pretty good. So I don't know if there have been too many complaints about them taking that stance, you know, and they're still putting on a good product. The wrestling is always incredible there, and the stories they're telling right now are pretty solid. They've got a pay-per-view, I believe, next weekend, and that's going to be headlined by Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page. And, you know, Joe was a good guy that helped, Hangman get his title back, or get the title, I guess. I mean, he did have it before, but not right before. But he helped him get this title. And Samoa Joe is basically saying, like, hey, you needed my help to get this title back. You know, that is basically checking him, you know, saying, like, hey, you maybe aren't as strong a champion as you think you are. And for what effectively is a face versus face match, I think they did a good job of setting it up. You know, this all came out of those two in a tag match the other week. And Samoa Joe, just the way Hangman Adam Page handed him his title back, he thought it was disrespectful, and he told him so. And I think, you know, if you're going to tell a relatively basic story, that makes a lot of sense. Give me something logical. And that's what they're doing. So they've got some good stuff going on AEW as well. You know, once again, the pay-per-view is going to be on next week. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to see that. But that's the business of, you know, all this wrestling stuff just being maybe a little too expensive, and me also admittedly falling kind of out of the product a little more. I'm not watching it on a weekly basis. I'm falling back into the, I can watch a clip here or there. AEW, I try more so to check it out, but admittedly, I kind of just forget about it too, because now that it's on a streaming service, I can watch it whenever, and it's not like, I'm in HBO Max already. Oh shoot, there it is. And they also do a really poor job of surfacing that stuff. Like, even on Wednesdays when I go specifically to HBO Max to find, you know, the next episode of Dynamite, it's very rarely at the top front and center, even though it's something that I'm regularly watching. You know, they want to tell me about Task or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, wrestling is doing all right now. I think WWE is kind of falling short, which is disappointing because, you know, we're getting to the end of their season. You know, we've got 2 months until the new year, and with the new year becomes the road to WrestleMania in April or whenever, and, you know, that's when they're supposed to be at their peak. But it really feels like the longer I watch this, the more it's like the build up kind of to, I don't want to say disappointment necessarily, because there have been some relatively special WrestleManias since I've gotten back into watching it, but it's really not like the culmination that it always felt like as a kid I thought it was going to be, but never really saw those shows. And now I'm like, yeah, they never even finish their storylines at WrestleMania. They do the WrestleMania match, and then they, you know, go on to do the same match again on a pay-per-view in a month. And it's like, well, then what's so special about WrestleMania if I'm just going to see this again? And then potentially that'll be the actual blow-off to it, you know?
All right.
It's kind of weird.
So, we're not going to do what you've been watching because we
right
haven't watched anything yet. I was going to see Tron Ares, but then I saw bad reviews, and I was like, well, I'm not going to waste my time then. So that sucks.
So it's
man.
not reviewing well, huh?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I only looked at one review, but
Oh.
but I'm looking at Rotten
And
Tomatoes,
what
fifty
you
six
complained about
percent.
was the existence of Jared Leto. Oh, geez, 56.
Yeah, 56% on Rotten Tomatoes, man.
That's
That
pretty rough, then.
sucks. Yeah, man. It's like, and then it's not really a continuation of the last one. And I know the last one was
Oh,
like,
really?
it wasn't like a, but like the last one was a like a great story, but I think it's more of, it wasn't told that well. The story was all right. It wasn't told that well. It was just okay. It was like very average, but visually, it was a great movie. This,
Yeah, it's still a lot of fun, I think.
yeah, yeah, but no, I like it. I really
Yeah.
like it. I'm just saying, like the broader audience thing, like what,
Yeah, yeah, no,
like
I
what it
get
is. I mean, it is what it is because I mean, I watched it. Like I said, I just paid attention to the story. It's like they could have done more. I felt like they could have done more to make that a very like a great movie. Um, this I don't know. Visually, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really hearing a lot about the visuals in this movie, so like that'll be the only reason for me to want to see it because
it. Right.
since they're in the real world now, which I know like the last one kind of equate to like, oh, they might be coming to the real world, but I kind of want them to do both. You know, like show some of those things in the real world, but the world of Tron is really what makes it unique. The actual be the world inside, like the inside the what they call it, the grid or whatever. But
Yeah, the grid.
it's what makes it unique because of that real world. Like just seeing these people out in our world. I mean, yeah, I want to see that, but I don't want that to be majority of the movie because it's just like anything other movie then because it's like with the graphics and just like the stuff
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
out here. It's yeah, so but yeah, it's disappointing that this is what it is, what this movie is, and it's like, well, we're not going to get another Tron probably thing happening. I don't know unless they just force it, but it's like we're not going to get anything else in this universe where like the best thing of the Tron universe is obviously that cartoon series. That cartoon series was great. The one with Elijah Wood was one of the voice actors.
Mhm.
Uh, so is there anything else? Nothing else. Like because there was a new South Park to mention. Oh, I did want to say that
Oh,
the Universal Basic Guys is back.
oh, is it okay?
And
I do
yeah,
have
so
something
that
to talk about after I forgot, and then I
oh,
remembered.
oh okay. Universal Basic Guys is back, and that yeah. So I heard some of the episode because my sister had it on, and I just heard some of it. I mean, it was funny, but I had to check it out. I think it's been a couple episodes now of it, but yeah. So and also I said, I'm just gonna like every now and then watch like one of the newer Simpsons, like from starting from I guess 2020 or something like that. I want to watch a few I just want to see it just so I can
Disgusting, Dominic.
for I
Disgusting.
can prove that guy wrong that it's still shit. But
Yeah. I already
but
did
yeah.
that experiment, let me tell you. And I think I have lower standards for The Simpsons than you do, Dom.
All right. So what did you see?
I watched Superman finally.
Okay,
I
yeah. How
thought it
you
was
feel
good.
about it?
I thought it was really enjoyable.
Did you were you upset that the dog wasn't a Labrador? That's
Yes, I was very upset. I was
but
very upset that the dog was not a Labrador.
yeah. But
Yeah, it's so weird. I think this is a movie that's going to be looked at like in the future as just like a very odd movie to come out at this time. Like it feels so kind of contradictory to the times that we are living in because it is like positive in a way that some people took offense to, I think. Um but at the end of the day, that's kind of what Superman is supposed to be, right?
I just find it weird that people do take offense to like they'll take offense to any. I mean, Superman he wants to help people. Like no matter what, he wants to
Yeah.
help people. So it's not about a political thing or whatever. Yes, like there was a point in some comics and like even some comics of even the last 10 years because I'm reading them. Like he says things like the American like way, but that's the American dream is what he pictures not what you probably think of American. I don't know what you think American Dream is, but American Dream of like America helping people or something like in a positive way. Like the most positive thing you think of America, that's what he thinks, and not like he doesn't think like America first. Like I think that's what people probably get it confused. It's like no, he's like it's a proudness to it, but also like a respectfulness, not that you disrespecting anybody else,
Yeah.
and like and um yeah, I just find it weird. Like they said, oh yeah, because they try to equate like those people with those fake countries they have in the movie to Israel and what's happening in Gaza or whatever. But really, that's something that's been happening in the Middle East with Eddie forever. So
Yeah.
it's you
I
can
mean, there's
easily just
always
say,
been, a superpower attacking a non,
yeah,
superpower.
exactly, or
It
yeah,
just
or a
happens to
country
be this time it's
backed.
happening at the exact same
Yes,
time.
like these smaller countries are being backed by superpowers. So
Yeah.
one of them's
Right.
being more backed by another one. So they have more of a advantage over someone else and to do what they want to do. That's that's been happening forever. So that
Yeah.
yes,
So
sorry
whether
that it
intentional or
yeah
not, I mean, it obviously does correlate to what's happening right now. And I think to some extent it is absolutely intentional.
yeah
But there's nothing wrong with that. It's a tale as old as time. It's the hero's journey basically, but for the real world.
and what was another thing that people said? It was like that. What was the other thing they said they were offensive about uh with it?
The
I don't.
dog not being a Labrador.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was me basically. Well, that's yeah. I was like, that looked like the cartoon dog I saw. That's like like I see this.
Were they also
Oh, that's
offended by the black man, actually being a very interesting and
well,
thought out
I never
character?
seen that. If it is, if they were, I did not see that. I wasn't on those places, those in those spaces, unfortunately.
I was gonna
Well,
say, I think
fortunately,
ironically
since
enough, that's one of the things that didn't get much like rage bait really, because I think
and it
I
shouldn't.
think because he was like such a focal point of the movie, like you got bigger problems
Yeah,
with the movie if that's your issue.
yeah,
Yeah, because I
yeah.
thought he was
Yeah.
terrific.
Yes, he was. A lot better than what they did in the CW. A lot better than what they did in the CW. The character.
I would
Um,
imagine, yeah.
but yeah, the movie was yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. Yeah, I do want to watch it
Yeah.
again eventually, but I want to watch Fantastic Four first. I do have
Mhm.
that. Well, Disney Plus has it, but I'll check it out. All right.
Yeah. So when can I watch Universal Basic Guys on Disney Plus now that Hulu is shutting down, I guess?
Well, okay. So you told me that there's a so like the yeah, Hulu's basically going away. That's what my friend told me. I never looked at the news, but that's what he was telling me. And um, so they put everything on Disney Plus, right? It still feels weird to me because I see it on
I
my
believe
Disney
that's the
Plus.
intention, but at the same time, so when's my Disney Plus price gonna go up? Because there's
Well,
no way
yeah, I
they
think
just do that, right?
because didn't I just send you something about what was changing? What did I send you? About something you just because you were like, oh, I hope I can get like some show that your daughter watched because now it's going to be too expensive. Um, I thought it was Disney Plus, but was there another app that was going up in price
I
that I
don't
saw?
remember.
Disney Plus price. Let me see. Subscription increasing soon. Yeah, yeah, it is increasing soon. Okay. October 21st.
Oh, okay.
It says ad-free plan increasing from $16 to $18.99 a month. Annual rates for the ad-free plan are also rising from $160 to $189.99 a year.
That Hulu
Bundles
stuff
with
better
Hulu,
be on there by October then.
well, it says bundles with Hulu and ESPN will see price adjustments. So Hulu is still around.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think it ends next year.
Okay, so
This feels like they're
yeah,
double dipping at this point, Dominic. What's going on?
because now they
When
been
is
with HBO
Peggy Hill
Max.
officially a Disney princess? That's all I need to know.
um, it just looks weird when I see like certain shows in Disney Plus like next to each other. Like I had Alien Earth next to a cartoon like Star Wars cartoon or whatever. It's just like
Right.
I don't. It's like man, it's
Jedi
like that.
Tales.
It's like, why y'all had the I said, yeah, y'all just combining. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like, hey, you know, to keep going to different apps, but honestly, I was okay with that because I was like, hey, I watch blues, you like my adult shows over here, and then I watch those Disney. Basically, for me, I just watch those exclusives usually
Yeah.
nowadays. Or the Simpsons. Sometimes I used to put the Simpsons up there, but now I just um watched. I think I got them on my hard drive now, the Simpsons. So I just use that so I can watch the ones I want. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, all these things get expensive. Everything's going up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got more to talk about that too later on in the podcast with games. But all right, so I guess we get to video games now. What we've been playing. So I'll go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay.
I'm still playing 100 line Last Defense Academy. So I finished the first
Mhm.
scenario. So now little spoiler alert here if you ever attempt to play this game. Um, it's so obscure that I just doubt anybody who listens to this is. But anyway, the it's so it's just like the almost a 999 games. Like you can go through different it's different scenarios. Like they have branches, and it branches out because of a choice you make. So in the first year, it's not really the first time you play it. It's not really a lot of choices. The choice really doesn't come into play until the very end, and it's basically just to if you choose to go into the past or not, because you have the ability to travel back to fix what has happened. You can say no, and then the game is just over. That's all that is. So you choose that. So really, you're just choosing that, and then you start a new save, and this time you're starting at a certain point in the game, and you know who you are. Like you know, like this, like you know what's happened. So now you get to change some things. And now as the game goes on, you're making choices that make in different branches. So just like in the 999 Escape series, just like in AI Solomon and Files with the choices and things of that nature, this also now does that. So it has different endings. It has a whole lot of different endings now. So like I am like a guy who I know turns on us. Now that I know he is, I know him. I said like, hey, I know what you're trying to do, blah blah blah, and I kill his ass. And like I said, it's like you had a choice to either kill him or not kill him or something. I killed him. I was like, man, this man, he ruined our freaking lives. He's gonna ruin our freaking lives. So I killed him. And he's like, hey, then he tried to justify myself like, well, technically I haven't done it yet. I said, yeah, but this ain't no. But for me, like me, the real me, I'm thinking like, there's no court of law here now. This is a freaking apocalypse we're in right now. So say that for a judge, which doesn't exist. like I know what you're going to do, so I'm going to kill you now. So I killed him. But now the guy in the game, he gets to choose, but he does kill him. Like meaning you pick the choice to kill him, and he doesn't really have regrets initially. But when people start like the other people, because we just met each other, they're like, well, how do we know that you tell him the truth that he was going to do this? Like, because we don't know. But then I tell them everything about themselves that I wouldn't have known unless I had talked to them before. And then they kind of believe me, but they're not really trusted of me because I killed that guy. But as the game keeps going on, I'm thinking like eventually they're going to have to trust me, right? But that seems like this what this scenario is that they're not really trustworthy of you. Like people slowly trust you though as the game goes on, but it's really slow and to that because of say, hey, you killed that guy. I said, but he was going to kill us. I was like, he is going to kill us. So I because because it's the writing. Like I wish he could. I wish there was an option like for the guy to explain that to them. Like I understand their feeling, but I feel like what would you have me do then? Like if you were in my situation, what would you do? Like that's what I'm saying. Like what would you have me do? Now I could have been like, hey, we lock him up, but I'm gonna tell him that yo, I'm scared he's gonna get out because it seemed like that seems to happen a lot because it happened in the last time. People who you lock up, they seem to get out somehow. So but not like it's not going like it's different. Like this scenario, then it's totally changes though. Like things
Mhm.
happen that didn't happen before. And so it's like you can't predict everything. Like things look familiar. Like you might see the same boss, but it comes at a different time. It coming earlier. It's like, wait a minute, we don't fight this guy yet. And then you see a new person at one point. It's like, oh, who's this guy? Like so. Then you learn, like, man, because of the things you've done, because you went to the past, things are changing and have butterfly effect. And I got to a couple of endings where I got to some bad endings, like the game is over. Um, and but you have it so where you can rewind to a certain point where you made a choice. So you can do another branch. Just very, very similar, like I said, to those games. So I do like that aspect of the game. Like just find out. Because right now I'm doing almost this one almost feels like Danganronpa because it's like the killing game thread, I think it's called. And like somehow some person, I don't know who they are, but they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have to kill each other like in this game." And I was like, "What?" I said, don't, "What the hell are we doing this for?" And of course, one there was one person who was kind of hoping that this is what happened to us from initially. She was all like, "Hey, yes, we can do a killing game," and blah blah blah, and people were like, "What are you talking about? No, we're not doing that." And but yeah, but now it's almost like a Danganronpa thing kind of happening now.
Mm.
So it's weird. But each scenario I was looking online at the different scenarios, like they're really different. So like it's yeah, man. I like this game. It's really weird. Like it's but at the same time, I also think like I like the aspect of this because it's different, but it's also not different because the same guy is doing kind of the same thing, and it's like he kind of done this before. Two series, now Danganronpa technically there wasn't. I mean, there's different endings, but it's not really a I would call like a branch kind of thing. Like oh no, in this is a new universe, not universe, but new like timeline. It's kind of just that you just did something different, and then you can go. And hopefully you saved, and you can go back and don't do that option again. But it's not done in the same way as the other series. But thing is, yeah, it's that's a format. And it's probably maybe that's not maybe not a bad thing. I mean, because it's not like these games come along all the time. So maybe like for people who like this kind of thing, yeah. I mean, it's a different overall story. It's just the setup is the same, but it is different. And I do like. I mean, time travel stuff. That's everywhere. That happens all the time in all kinds of scenarios and all kind of media and stuff like that. And so I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty cool um that setup it seems pretty cool. So I'm okay with it. But yeah,
Mm.
so 100 line, I am enjoying that game. Also playing Outer Worlds and like playing that again. But I actually finished one of the DLCs which I never played before, the Gorgon one, which was good story wise. It was good. It was like a good mystery of like what this factory well this no like this what's it called like the this branch of Spacer's Choice. Like they had like a secret project going on this asteroid. They were developing some a drug basically to make people basically have more adrenaline. They call it adrenatime. And like they can just keep working and not feel tired and still feel like a lot of energy. But it that drug they cannot get it working right, and it caused a lot of problems. And then you just see like you like as you go through this like decrepit labs, all these labs on this island, like well I say island, asteroid, you start learning like it's like a mystery. You unlocking like how this happened, how this worked out. It's good, man. I mean, I like the story of it. Like the gameplay wise, I mean, like the gameplay is still the same, but the whole story and it's pretty big. So I'll give it that. I'll give it that it's not like some like oh this is some bullshit DLC. It's okay. I don't know how people rated it, how they thought of it, but I thought it was okay. But also I am playing for free technically because it was on Epic Game Store.
Right.
So yeah, it came with everything that came with the whole Spacer's Choice version. So I don't know, but now there's another mystery kind of thing happening now DLC, which I'm not going to start yet. I did some of the regular missions first, then I'm going to start that one. But I did a mission where it was a place where like you retiring is almost like a lottery that they give to certain people. Not none of the rich people or nothing like that, but to like us, the regular folks or whatever.
The
And
plebs.
they get so they get a lottery, and then and then your numbers get called, then you win, then you get to go to this special neighborhood, nice neighborhood to live or whatever, live in luxury and blah blah blah. So a person who was the rich people, she was jealous, saying like, how they get this stuff? Say, hey, go there. I would just can you sneak in and find out what is this place? And I don't remember doing this mission last time I played, but so I went ahead and snuck in and got in, and it's kind of what I thought. I was thinking like these people are either used as slaves or they're just killing them, and yeah, they're just killing them because but you get to a place where it's just a bunch of like you see these janitor robots clean up blood and stuff, and then I was like, and then like one of your characters, what's her name, Nika, I forgot, but she was like, "Oh hell no!" And said like, "I didn't come out here to be just die in this trap like this," and something like that. And then, yeah, we start finding all these robots, and it's like, dude, it's like they so all they do is basically to get rid of like, hey, to they that's your retirement is your death basically. That's what it is. Just kill them, and it's like, wow, that is horrible. And when I told a person she wasn't upset. She was like, "Oh, I'm relieved. I thought it was they were really getting something relieved. So they just get rid of their rabble." She said, and then I said, "Like, why am I chose the choice. Like, why am I surprised? Is that how you feel?" She's like, "Y'all say, oh, don't look at me that way. So you just don't understand because of your upbringing or some shit like that." But yeah, but yeah, it was funny because it's done in a like funny way. Basically, I mean, because like this is supposed to make fun of corporations and things of that nature, like how the basically the capitalist corporate lifestyle and stuff, and to an extreme, basically, like they're just doing everything to the
Yeah.
extreme. All right, so that's it. That's all I really played that of significance. Hopefully, I can play something different. But man, these games are fucking long, and I do want to finish them. And I definitely want to finish Outer Worlds before Outer Worlds 2 come out. Because
Yeah.
hell, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be playing. I'm gonna be. No, I will because she said yours renew on yours gonna renew in October, right? For the same
Yeah.
price. So
Yeah.
then
Mine
I will have
renews once before the price change happens.
yeah, and what and Outer Worlds 2 will be out by then. All
Yeah.
right. So what you been playing, man?
All right. So I tried jumping back into Donkey Kong. I did a little bit more of that, but I'm still I don't know. It's not that it's not grabbing me, but I think I get too distracted by just like destroying everything around me because of, the levelation or whatever. And I'm not as focused on like the goals, but the goals are kind of, I mean, there's one like objective that you're going for, right? And they highlight that with an exclamation point or whatever. But then there's just kind of like bananas everywhere in a similar fashion to Super Mario Odyssey, where there's just kind of a lot of moons that you get kind of all around. And I think I get distracted by that stuff and then don't
You know
feel
what?
like I'm
And those
progressing.
moons are they crescent moons?
They're
Are they
crescent
crescent moons
moons,
that you play?
yes. Yes, they
Yes.
are.
You know what? They just turn them yellow. Ain't that a damn shame? They just that's all they did. They turn them yellow. They just saving assets and
Print
everything.
them a little bit more. They put them in Photoshop, free transform. Yeah. Yeah. So the structure is very much like that. But yeah, I think because of that, I don't feel like I'm progressing. And that feels like a lot of what I'm like pushing back against with a lot of the games that I'm playing right now. Like and intentionally, right? Like Hades 2 is a roguelike. So like the intention is okay, you're gonna get to a point, you're gonna die, and then maybe you'll get some kind of upgrade that'll make you be able to progress more. But the constant like having to do the same thing over again is kind of like diminishing like what I'm the time that I'm investing, it feels like, and that's pushing me away a little bit. And the same with Silk Song, which is what I played the majority, like most of this week. And I am making some progress in that, but so many times I'm getting to a boss and then I'm dying and I'm having to do the run back and then I'm dying again and I have to do the run back and I'm dying again. And it's just kind of wearing me down a little bit. And I'm already so like on the fringe of like things with games right now. And part of that is like just trying to make the time for them, but also like the Game Pass stuff that we'll talk about, like the industry stuff is kind of like, man, what is the future for this stuff? I might as well retreat back to, you know, the games of my youth, the nostalgia stuff. And like this, it's just pushing me more towards that. I'm starting to get kind of like disillusioned with games, I guess. But I'm still having some fun with Silk Song. The one of the bosses that I had issues with, one of like the guys that I had met in the world was like, "Hey, would you like help with this guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely I would." And then like I had a partner, and I don't know if that's because I had died a couple of times or if I just didn't go in that direction of where he was until the time that I did that. Um, I thought that was kind of neat. He didn't make it like extremely easier, but he definitely like added some like a damage multiplier almost. So it didn't take as many hits. Cause I think that's my biggest issue with some of these bosses. It's not even that their patterns are hard to recognize. I think they do a really good job of making it clear like what move they're going to do. It's a lot about you executing, but these battles just go on for so long that at a certain point it's like is becomes frustrating. It's not a 3 hits and you move on to the next, phase of the battle, 3 hits and you move on to the third and then that's the final one or anything like that. It's very much like I feel like I'm hitting these guys 20 times before I get them into the next phase, and then I have to hit them another 15, 20 times, and by that time I've ran out of health, and I haven't been able to refill my health because I got, there's just no downtime, right? Because it takes a minute for you to do the thing to refill your health from the thread. So yeah, I'm still kind of trying to like force myself to make time for the games because it's getting to the point where it's very easy for me to just like, oh, I would rather do something other than play video games right now. And it's not that the video games are bad or I don't like them. It's just some of the frustrations are making it easier for me to bounce off of them. Even Mortal Kombat 1, which you know, I think we talked about on the last podcast, but because you were playing it, but I finally jumped into that. And, I first did some towers just to kind of get some under me. Cause like, honestly, I kind of forgotten about like the whole tag mechanic and adding that aspect to it. So I skipped the training and then I was instantly like, I probably should have did that to make sure I know what I'm doing here. Um, and that was fine. I playing as Ermac. He's one of the DLC characters. So I was, he was my main in 10 or whatever the last game that had him in there. And then I just selected whatever random, backup character because it wasn't really going to matter to me. I was playing on like medium or easy anyway. But then when I jumped into the story, and now admittedly I had seen some of the beginning bits of the story, online elsewhere. So it was very much like I'm sitting here and just watching this movie for an hour, and then I'm going to play a single match or a couple of matches in a row. At the beginning you're playing as Raiden and Kung Lao, and then you're fighting, basically the ninjas. And I'm just like, man, I think I might be over the way that Mortal Kombat does these story modes. Like it's starting to
Really?
feel like a Kojima game. Like I like the story that they're telling, but I
But it's
don't want
like
to sit
over the top.
here.
It's because they're long. Oh, they be long between
It's just
cutscenes.
long. It's too much. Like break it up more cuz I don't need to sit here for 30 minutes not playing your game just to play your game for 5 minutes
Yeah, I was
and then
noticing
go
that.
into another 30 minutes.
I was noticing that playing Injustice 2 again. I was
Mhm.
playing some of the story that it was a little long, but it didn't feel too long. But I can see like it was a little long. Like I wish it was a little shorter. It's like it's a good
Yeah.
story. It's like I like what I'm watching, but
Yeah,
at the end
that's
of the
the thing.
day, I
Yeah.
also yeah. But it's like yo, at the end of the day, this is I want to play.
Right.
It's like
Yeah. This is a
I want
video
to play the
game. I'm
game.
not sitting
Yeah,
here for a
yeah.
movie.
I kind of like wish you would like I mean it kind of sucks. It's like I wish like when something like action was happening, like you show that quick action,
I
then you
kind of wish
show
you had made
the
the Mortal Kombat
yeah.
movie as good as the movies you're making of this game.
Yeah, that too. Like I don't. Yeah, like you said, it's nice, but I wish maybe you should make a story more of the like that can make it so we can play more. Like it's not they're
Yeah.
not long enough, but they're still good. Like a good the way because the way you did nine, like I don't remember everything in nine, but I just feel like because of the tournament setting of it, it makes it more like because you go to the next tournament, you go to the next fight.
Right.
So you might see some stuff in you might see a little bit of stuff in between, but you're really seeing like stuff happen while that fighting like for the tournament is happening. Because that's a round of the fight. Or like when they were like, oh, they were going off on their own doing something, then they end up fighting somebody. It's like, yeah, it's gotta be a better balance. It's gotta be a better
Yeah.
balance with that.
I'd be
Uh
interested to see like times versus like time in between fights for like nine versus this. And if it is just like, oh man, they bloated the budget and, just absolutely went crazy with the movies in this, or if, that was the first time we had really experienced it. So I think that's part of the problem too, right? Like this is the fourth one like this.
yeah.
So maybe I'm just getting tired of that formula. It's not necessarily a bad formula, but we've seen it one too many times now. It was novel that you had like this full story in nine, because up until that point, you get your little still image at the end of a tower, and that was kind of the extent of the story that you got. Whereas
Yeah.
like this is telling the whole thing about the world, and you get to play as the different characters, so that's cool because it actually gives you the ability to kind of experience everybody almost in a tutorial like way, because the battles usually aren't too bad in the story mode, and in this one you actually have like a difficulty setting too, which is nice. um but yeah, I'm just, and again, like maybe part of it, at least early on with this stuff, is like I saw some of this. So like I legitimately just skipped like some of the cinematics because I had seen them already. But even like as I was getting into the portion that I didn't remember seeing, I'm just like, man, it's late. I'm tired. And that's probably part of it too, admittedly. But like, when do I get to play this game again? it just kept feeling like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna watch a whole long scene with Johnny Cage now, where he's Indiana Jones. I legitimately thought, and again, this is probably part of the like sleep deprivation. I was like, did I boot up Indiana Jones? What is happening
Yeah.
here? And then I was like, oh
Yeah, I
wait,
think
no, this
that
is
yes. Yeah, see, like I said, if I was watching a movie, that would be fine. But that scene, but like me playing the game, that was a little too long because it went through that, and then it went to him back in his place, and the whole thing with whoever his girlfriend was, and something talk about he's in debt. I was like, man, it should have cut. I'm sorry, like that should have been cut. Like it should have been at a point where he was something closer to him fighting those demons. Whatever scene closer to fighting those demons, me playing that part and then doing cut and then him whatever and then you kind of go from there like the whole going through like Indiana Jones that just took too much time. It took too much time. Like it just wasn't like it wasn't really worth it. It wasn't bad. It's just that like I said, the pacing is not good.
yeah.
Like or something where I'm going to play a game, man.
So Yeah, that's my unfortunate kind of negative take on gaming this week. I've probably spent more time gaming this week than I have in a while, but I'm trying not to bounce off of it, Dominic. I'm trying.
Yeah. All right. So, well, what about like with your daughter? You play anything with your daughter? Not this week or something?
Not really this week.
Okay.
We had talked about before the podcast jumping into the kind of Sonic racing thing, and they have like the auto steer kind of assist stuff there. I don't know if they have like the auto drive that
Okay.
Mario Kart has. So she
Uh-huh.
was still struggling with that a little bit, but we talked about it. It's definitely different. Like it does a good job of differentiating itself from Mario Kart. Like the drift, I feel like is a little more thought out than Mario Kart's, which is just kind of hold on the stick in the different direction and then let go. There's like a meter and stuff in this. The environments themselves, I don't know that they really did anything for me, but it was literally just the demo and it was, like two different things. I did like the aspect of, the leader of the pack gets to choose like what next dimension they go into. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh, darn.
yeah. So, yeah, I
yeah.
think there are definitely some ideas there. I'm interested. I told you I played the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2, which I think everything that doesn't get like a Switch 2 upgrade just is inherently worse on the Switch 2, because like now you're trying to put a lower resolution thing on a higher resolution screen, so you see some of the muddiness even worse. Because that's what I was telling you, like when I played Inside, that game isn't like graphically complex, but it was kind of soft, due to the resolution. Whereas like if I played that game on the PC at max settings, that thing would be sharp, the blacks would be black and all that stuff. So I think the PC version of Sonic would probably look a lot better than what we were experiencing on that. But yeah, other than that, the occasional, she's actually been getting into Mario Odyssey herself. And it's mostly just kind of exploring right now because she's in my and with a little puppy, yes,
that follows me
yes,
all around where I go.
okay, yes.
There was
From my
a
daughter.
pup. There
Yep.
was a puppy. Yeah, yeah, I do remember a puppy in there, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot that he followed you around like to each of the worlds and would like follow you and do stuff. But
Now I
yeah,
did. Well, hold up. See, I don't remember. I don't remember that either.
In my little
yes,
my
yes,
little house.
in the at the beach level, because he doesn't swim. Obviously, he would stay in the little house that is your spaceship.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's a puppy and not a cat, because I would just try to kick it out of there. So, get out of here.
Yeah,
I'll
we don't
I'll
want
drown the cat.
Mario cats now. Jesus, Dominic. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing.
Yeah, like that, like the penguin, like when you throw the penguin off the cliff. Yeah, I'll be throwing that cat in the water or something like that. It's like, get out of here. All right. All right. So that's it, man. So we'll take a quick break. When we get back, get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're getting to the flashback segment. And all right, so what we got here? So we're going back 10 years ago in the week of October 5th, 10 years ago, 2015. And we got Rock Band 4. It came out.
Yeah.
Is this like the last successful Rock Band?
Yeah.
Like as far as like the whole Rock Band history, like the whole toy instrument stuff.
Yeah,
Like this
I
is
mean,
the
this
last.
was definitely the end of. I mean, I think even past this or before this was kind of really the end of this stuff, and this made a resurgence. But even like, I'm trying to think if I even own this game.
Because Beatles Rock Band, did that come after 2 or was it after 3?
It might have been after 3, but it was definitely before 4 because it was still on the 360. Because I think I never got this one because like none of the instruments that I had would work with the Xbox One. Because they put out like, especially my drum kit, because I got the fancy drum kit. Like that's how into these games I was. And then for the Xbox One, you needed a special adapter for the Ion drum kit, and they made like 5 of them, and you just couldn't get them. And now, if you find them online, when you can find them, they're like hundreds of dollars. And I think there was somebody that was working on like replicating it, but never really made a mass produced product as far as I know. So I just never even got into it.
That's something they should have did, man. Like, I'm sorry. You had people like the 360 was like the best selling one. You should have made a lot of those adapters,
or just make it compatible in some way. It's a USB device. You're telling me?
That too.
You can't write a piece of software that just reads that stuff and outputs it. Like, what are we doing here? Why do I need some special kind of like in between adapter thing? This craziness.
Yeah, it's almost like they were just saying like we gotta get these people to buy this stuff again somehow, man. It's that's awful. All right,
so I think like to some extent I resented them for that too. So I never got into it. Anyway.
Yeah. So now we got Transformers Devastation came out, and this is what I wanted to finish. And I actually downloaded it a couple years ago because I was like, this is what I always wanted to play. I just never did, and I thought I played a very little of it. I said I'll come back. I just never came back to it because it's the Platinum Games version of that Transformers. So I was like, oh, so it's like more arcadey action, not like the older Transformer games. I mean, they're not old, they're older, but the ones that came out during the 360 PS3 eras also that were pretty good. It was what is it like something of Cybertron? Was it Rise of Cybertron or Distortion?
Yeah.
And
the first one was Rise of Cybertron. Then it was like War for Cybertron, I think.
Well, we're such or Death to Cyber. I don't know, but but anyway, yes. This is the more like anime way, like Platinum Games kind of way, like version of this game. And it's actually rated okay. Like it was actually pretty good. I mean, it got a 77 on PS4, 75 on Xbox One, and 74 on PC. Oh, damn, this was never a 360 or PS3 game. Okay. But it was. They just did. I guess they didn't rate those games. I guess people didn't review those games. I was about to say. I could have sworn they were on the 360 and PS3. But they are. They were. I see them up on the platforms thing on Wikipedia, just not the reviews. But this. I mean, in the look of it, it has like the cartoony, like I guess anime kind of look to it. And I mean, it was. I was said to be all right. I know you played it. I think you actually probably played more than I did of the game.
Wow.
Honestly,
it was like that.
Yeah, because I don't think I even finished the first stage. I just tried it just to see how it was. But yeah, maybe one day I'd go. One day
I remember not hating it as much as like some people seem to, but it was definitely a step down. From those previous games where you're like, oh, Platinum plus the Transformers games have been pretty good as of late. Like, and then it's like, oh yeah, this is not top tier Platinum. This is whatever the offshoot Platinum is.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that, but it's like I said, I look at these ratings. I think that's actually, I thought it'd be worse. Now the Ninja Turtles one was really bad. That turned out to be really bad when that should have been great. That should have been great with Platinum. Like if they had really worked on that with the style they do those action games, that could have been a great game. And that's more surprising to me that wasn't good, but this one was. What we got here? Yeah, you say step down, but I'm seeing 8s, man. I see 8.5, 8.
Really?
8.2. Yeah, that's why I'm confused why you said step down.
I could have swore that this was one of the ones that everybody was complaining about, it being not as good as like, like Bayonetta, obviously, but there were a couple of platinum games around that time, even licensed ones. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one was a bad one, right?
Yeah, that was a horrible one.
Yeah. Maybe I'm confusing it with this. Maybe this was one of the ones that people thought was one of the better ones, but I could have swore I thought
that's why you played it, because that was the only reason why you played it. That it was
one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm misremembering then. Yeah, because the Legend of Korra came out before that. So it was Bayonetta 2. Then they did Legend of Korra, which was bad. Then they did Transformers, which was good. And they did, Star Fox Zero came out after this game. That's crazy. Which is kind of
that's okay. Star Fox, right?
And then Transformer. Oh. Yeah, Star Fox Zero. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is bad. And then Nier Automata, which was good. So yeah, they've been up and down and up and down.
Star Fox Zero. I played that game. I don't remember anything about that game.
That's the one where like
turn into chicken. The chicken.
Yes. Yeah, okay. And you use the Wii U pad to do like your aiming and stuff.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's crazy. All right. So what else we got? We got Prison Architect came out 10 years ago. Tell you about this game, Daniel.
See, I was thinking that you had played more of this game. This is the little top-down kind of.
Yeah, you're trying to escape prison, right? No. Yeah, well, you are trying.
Or were you building a prison?
No, yeah, because that's Prison Architect is different. The prison escape one is where you're trying to escape it. Prison Architect is when you actually create a prison.
Building the prison.
Yeah, prison. Yeah, I'm not so familiar with this one.
Gotcha.
Really.
Yeah, this one was pretty popular.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I hate it, because I don't believe in like the prison system is horrible, and I don't like that.
And they're doing a good job of promoting it. You want people to turn more into prison architects? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean it seemed like it was a relatively simple game, graphically obviously it was. It looked very kind of flash gamey. It was isometric perspective. And yeah, it was kind of like I want to say a tycoon style game, basically, where you're designing the prison and trying to, keep inmates in and keep them from getting themselves in trouble and stuff like that. So yeah,
was there any rehabilitation?
No, there's absolutely no rehabilitation. There is death penalty though, death row.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh, there's expansion packs, Dominic. The last one being of which, the Jungle Pack. What does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Going green. Okay, so like you got to run your prison on solar panels. Second chances. Oh, there you go. They had a DLC for rehabilitation.
Oh, okay.
Perfect Storm, gangs, undead. Okay, undead. Sure. Future tech pack. So you have future prisons. Like that Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And then you have the Jungle Pack. So like you got to succeed at building a prison out of trees and whatnot in the jungle.
There was a sequel in the works, but it's been delayed indefinitely last year.
Yeah, I forgot that never came out. That's kind of crazy with how popular this was. It is kind of weird that like, yeah, most of the like theme kind of games, you have your theme hospital, you have your theme museum, you have your theme parks, roller coasters and stuff like that, and then it's like prison, but like that gets popular somehow. Like it feels weird. Yeah. I mean, yeah, prisons. Yeah. All right.
All right, so what we got here? We got Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes came out 10 years ago. What's this? You gotta tell you about this game, man.
This had previously come out as like a Gear VR exclusive. It started out as a VR exclusive kind of thing, and that I think is where it shines really. but it's really come out for everything now. It's basically like it's a group activity mostly. You have one person who is doing the defusing of the bomb, and then you have another group that has all of the instructions. And the way I originally saw this played is the person that's defusing is in the VR, and then you have a people with literal, you print out the instructions and you just have this big binder that you flip through. So you're like, okay, the guy in the VR goes like, okay, I'm seeing this puzzle. It's, the side of this bomb has 6 squares on it. One of them is an X, one is a triangle. There's a duck and like 3 green buttons. So the person, the people looking at the binder like flip through looking for that specific type of puzzle. And then they tell you, okay, in this one, you have to press the 3 green buttons in this sequence. And then you have to do this. And then you have to press the duck button at the end, and that'll defuse the bomb. So it's very much like team exercise puzzle solving. And like I experienced it like watching Giant Bomb play, and that's very much a perfect situation where you have all of these guys who are into video games trying to like entertain people while doing this thing. So I never really got to experience this, but it looked like it would be a lot of fun if you have the right group of people together to get this whole experience. Basically, it seemed like very clever puzzles that you had to do teamwork to resolve. Basically, otherwise the bomb goes off and your face explodes, because then your VR device also explodes on your face. So
Yeah. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. And I think
yeah,
actually I've seen this game like on the Oculus.
on the Oculus Store, I'm sure.
Yeah. Now that I've seen, that seems pretty fun. That's like a cool group like fun game.
Yeah.
All right. So and now the last one for 10 years or 2015, we got Minecraft Story Mode, episode 1, The Order of the Stone. This was the Telltale Minecraft game, and in which you had some some actors. Well, I know one of the actors up there who played the main character, and his Patton Oswald.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm sure there's other famous people too, but I don't know them. But anyway, but like yeah, he talked for the main character, and it was okay. Like story wise, it was okay, and I can see like kids liking it. It was a little it was definitely more kiddie story. So it's not like I mean, I'm not even talking about like like compared to Wolf Among Us. Yes, that's because that is an adult game, and so is Walking Dead. But even as storytelling goes, it felt very young. Like it wasn't. I couldn't say like it's a great story. Like Pixar is for kids. I mean, kids can watch it, but adults can appreciate it too. This didn't feel that way to me that much. It felt okay. Like it felt okay, but it was very still kiddie. Like I tried to get through it, but it was like I was like, it wasn't grabbing me. I was like, it's not. Yeah, I think it's like a certain age group, man. This isn't falling in the lines of the other Telltale games. Um, like even like Back to the Future or something like that. Like that's not. That's probably more not kids, but I can I can get into that. But Minecraft is like appeals to like those kind of ages, to all ages. So, but I guess they chose to go very young and pretty simple with the story. I mean, it has some mystery to it. Like I still don't really know what's the I still don't know what happens or anything because like I said, I didn't finish. I think I went through maybe 4 episodes of the first season. I mean, it ended up having 2 seasons, and it's probably I'm curious like how for as for selling, like where does this stand because of what it was. And I mean, it also was
Right.
like the Netflix. It came on Netflix too, like where
Yeah.
you could just because I tried that a bit too to see how it worked on Netflix. Like, yeah, you
It's
just use
just
the
like choose
remote.
your options, right?
Yeah, basically. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, because it's looking at this, it's on everything. I mean, just like a lot of Telltale games are, but literally like the Fire OS, the iPad OS, Netflix, Android, iOS, of course, Windows, Mac OS, and then all the consoles. Every console except for the newest ones, which you can probably. play. Well, definitely through Xbox, probably like the emulator or something. Um, but yeah, yeah, it was. Oh yeah, like I said, it was okay. It's probably like if kids for kids, I think it's good. Um, but it wasn't all that. Have you played any of this game?
No, I don't think I played
Okay,
any of it at all. That was
okay,
kind of like past the point where I had fallen off the Telltale games. So I didn't even really give it a try. And then I think you had told me, basically what you're saying. It's kind of kiddie, and I was like, yeah, I don't need to try that out.
yeah, nah. Maybe you like your daughter, maybe
I
one
was gonna
day. I
say
don't
now
know.
maybe it might be worth going back to, but she hasn't really gotten into Minecraft yet, so maybe like getting her into that. I mean, not that it really
I
matters,
don't
but
think
like
you
the
have to
aesthetic
say.
of
I
it.
don't think you had to, man. It's just because
Here, you got to
it's his own story.
familiarize yourself with Steve before you get this. Let me show you the Minecraft movie first.
Yeah,
Get you
yeah,
some
because
backstory.
because the Minecraft game is not really a story, right? Because every
Nah.
time I played it, I didn't have a story. All right. All right. So now we go back 20 years, 2005. What came out 20 years this week? We got SSX on tour. SSX, I totally forgot about. Like, I do not remember this game. So tell me about this game, Daniel.
Yeah, so this was basically the follow up to 3. And on the GameCube, it added some Mario characters. I think Mario, Luigi, and Peach were all in there. This was around the same time they were added to NBA Street. So that was a selling point for me. I was still, a big enough fanboy of Nintendo stuff for that to be the case. I also really liked 3 a lot after missing out. Like, I remember looking at the PS2 and seeing SSX at launch and being like, that's the game that would sell me on a PS2, and I just never got around to that. So by the time Tricky and 3 came to the GameCube, I was all in on the series. Um, so yeah, I don't remember this adding much to the formula. I think they kind of changed the aesthetics a bit. They added like the like punk rock notebook drawing style stuff to it. Um, it made it a little more grungier, but outside of that, I don't remember the gameplay being particularly different. Um, I saw on Wiki that they removed like online multiplayer, and I'm like, I was on the GameCube. I wasn't I wasn't getting online multiplayer with anything anyway, really. So yeah, I recall maybe like I'd be interested to like actually go back and revisit that game and see if it like sparked anything in my head, like specific memories. But I feel like I had some fun with it, but that's kind of the extent of it. It's nothing that really stuck with me over these years.
Oh, they say that there was a sequel slash prequel that came on afterwards for the Wii, the SSX Blur. And the thing
I
when they say
remember
prequel,
that.
I'm like, there's a story to this? What's the story?
All the characters were just younger, Dominic. That's all it
Oh,
was.
it's just, like, did they play like older music or something? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
I was
one I
like, oh, it is.
remember coming out, and I'm actually surprised that some of these scores are decent. Like I thought it reviewed even worse than it is. Like it's 74 on Metacritic. It's got a 6 from Eurogamer, but an 8.5 from Game
This is for
Informer.
SSX Blur, by the way.
Blur, yeah, Blur, sorry. Because they had like changed the art style to cell shaded and very much like weeded up, if you know what I mean. Like they very much angled into the we know what the Wii is. It's the Nintendo Kids console, so we're gonna bring our property over, but we're gonna make it, look more appealing to kids and
That's what just made them actual
I want to say
kids,
like the gameplay was,
like kids, like chibi kids or something, like with big heads
snowboard
or something like
kids.
that.
Yeah. We already had snowboard kids. We didn't need SXX Blur.
I
We
totally
just
forgot about
need
Snowboard
snowboard
Kids.
kids to come back. Can't forget about snowboard kids, Dominic. That's you want to talk about games that are better than Mario Kart. There you go. That's the one right there.
Oh my god, look at that guy with the big nose.
I assume you're talking about snowboard kids, right?
Yeah,
I was like, man, SSX Blur got weird.
yeah. They all got big noses. Well, this one got us. His is more pointy.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that one dude that had, very pointy nose.
All right. Well, darn, that's a woman actually. Got some boobs on her, huh? Are these kids?
they
Like,
use they
like,
use polygons everywhere, Dominic.
I'm just saying, are these kids? Cause this girl, I mean, I guess maybe, I mean, did she develop faster or something? Because she got a body of a I think she a little person. She just playing with these kids, man, or something like that. Yeah, their body a little too developed to be a kid, man. They're like, come on, like you don't call some snowboard kids. Don't have a lady with like a freaking like a bikini top or something wearing, man. Like that, come on, man. Don't,
The snowboard instructors had to be there too, Dominic. They're kids. You can't just leave them alone on
yeah, but
the
she looks
whatevers,
just
the
like them.
slopes.
She looks just like them, though. She doesn't look like an adult.
Well,
Uh,
this was the 90s. I don't know what you want from me. I can't explain this.
yeah, it's a little weird. Maybe they're kids, but they're teenagers. Maybe she's teenage age.
That doesn't make it any better, Dominic. Let me just say. It doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I mean it's cold outside. It's like, come on, why you why you heard that? All right. Anyway, where we at here? Let me save that picture of that cartoon character. All right. Sorry.
Dominic, no.
Darn, I thought I wrote something down for 95 for 30 years ago.
Oh,
I guess I didn't paste it.
I'm trying to think. I remember you saying something.
Oh,
I just saw that woman. Now I know what you're talking about. Why she got cheetah pants on too?
That's what I'm saying. What is that? It's like I'm thinking like kids. Then I see that. I say, whoa, like okay, what are we going for here? Because the other girl, pink girl, like yeah, that's fine. It makes sense, even though it's still the old stereotype of girls is like pink. But you know, that's just what it is. But then you got this person. I guess she's like, oh, she's the one who she grew up fast. It's like she she had a little more exploring. She done a lot of things. Probably had a dirty uncle when she was younger or something. You know,
Oh,
that kind of
Jesus,
thing.
Dominic. No, this is gone too far.
That's how the story goes, Daniel.
I'm done with this conversation.
All right. So Mortal Kombat Ultimate came out 30 years ago. Ultimate
That's
3.
what it was.
3 Ultimate. Yeah. And in the arcades. And then it came out next year for the consoles, like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and all that stuff. And I played it, but I don't remember. I don't like have a memory of like me being really into it. Like I think I was into Mortal Kombat the first two basically, and then I kind of fell off. Like I was really into fighting games. Like the only fighting games I was kind of into was the 3D ones, like Tekken or Virtual Fighter or stuff, because they were different, they were new, and that's what I moved away from Mortal Kombat. Like anything 2D, I was kind of just moving away from. I was like, hey, 3D's the future, man. Like fuck all this 2D stuff, man. Let's get out of here with that. Yeah. So I was like, man, I ain't gonna I ain't even worry about like Street Fighter or anything stuff. Like Street Fighter 3, like I have no inclination of Street Fighter 3 like existing until like a few years before Street Fighter 4 or something like that. Like I just didn't ever think about it. Like I knew it was there, but I never looked for it or anything. And then I just find one time I just looked it up and just looked just looking up on the internet something like about it. I was like, man, I just like when this game came out, what was I doing? I guess I didn't give a fuck. Like I just didn't care about that stuff. Cause I think I was on yeah, it was like the most only 2D thing I actually cared about was Marvel vs. Capcom. Like 2 or something like that. And like I said, anything 3D. Like I didn't care about Street Fighter. And people I talked to didn't play it, so I just never really looked at it. And but Mortal Kombat, I mean, there was a dude I know who I used to know. He was really into Mortal Kombat, man, because he would talk about it. And I really remember it like on the Genesis because he had a Genesis. I went to his house, like his brothers, they were all playing it and stuff like that, and watching them play it. And I mean, it looked cool and stuff. I didn't really care about getting it for myself though. And I was at the point where I didn't even know the characters anymore, like except for the basic ones. So I always said, like, so now there's like different color scorpions and sub-zeros now, man. So like you got I was already like in 2, and honestly, I played 2 a lot, but I was working, I didn't know none of the story. I didn't read that stuff.
Yeah.
Like you only can read it like when you let it roll, I think, and it goes into another screen and says, "Hey, this
Yeah,
is
they would show you that
the
some of this,
backstory."
yeah, like the setup stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I didn't read that, and I didn't. And the Blockbuster one, it didn't have the book, so if so I didn't know nothing about those characters. So I just see these people say like, "Oh, this is this their names or something, either Smoke or whatever," and I'm like, they just say, "Oh, so these is just Scorpion Sub Zero, just they look the same." And it's like
Yep.
I was like they all look. I was just very confused. I was like, "Why they just wear the same costumes?" It's like, what is this? Yeah, but but this was popular. I mean, yeah, people were like, this is probably the last of that genre, like Mortal Kombat, that was good. Like they in Ultimate,
Yeah.
what characters did it add to it? Like I gotta pull it up because I did not pull it up. Up here.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to tell you between like 3 and all, what was in 3 original and then what was added in Ultimate specifically.
Yeah. Oh, I just put Mortal Kombat Ultimate. That takes me to a lot of shit.
So I
All right.
remember there being an Ultimate. I want to say there was an Ultimate machine at like Mr. G's or something. I know there was a Mortal Kombat 4 one there eventually, but like that was the
Let
only
me
place I
see.
really saw
Altered.
like
They said it
cabinets.
altered gameplay system, some new features as well, additional characters like the returning favorites, Reptile. So Reptile wasn't there initially.
Oh wow, okay.
Katana wasn't there initially. Jade and Scorpion. Scorpion had to be there. He was
That's
there.
crazy.
Yeah, he was That I think they just wrote the way they wrote this article. Oh, somebody's added that. Yeah, they said this. When they say like return, they said some new features as well as additional characters like the returning favorites, and then Reptile, Katana, Jade, and Scorpion. Why'd you write it like that? Who were missing? They say Scorpion. Let me time out. Let me look this up. I did not know Scorpion was missing from Mortal Kombat 3. How the
That
that's
seems
some
kind of crazy.
bull. That's some shit like they knew Ultimate's coming out. They said, yeah, we're gonna keep him out. And we're gonna make these motherfuckers buy whole another game. Mortal Kombat 3. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Mortal Kombat 3 was a commercial success and received generally positive reviews, but drew criticism for omitting several popular characters from the previous games. It is the only main installment to not feature the franchise mascot Scorpion. Oh my god.
Okay.
They
Wow.
should be shot. They should be shot for
I had
that.
no idea. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
always been the argument, right? Is like what characters do you take away? What characters do you add? Can you make a Street Fighter game without a Ken or a Ryu? Like, probably not, right?
Yeah.
Even if you have an equivalent playing character. I mean, obviously, it makes me wonder if like the intention was for like a Cyrax to be the replacement for him because he had the net, so you could kind of do a get over here situation. Because otherwise, like, who do you have that basically does that move?
They didn't want they was like we gotta get an American to be the lead. Say we made a
Johnny
Japanese
Cage.
guy. Yeah. And this is an American made game. Yes, make it, yes, make it America.
Although I'm looking at this roster for Ultimate, and I'm not even sure Johnny Cage was in that.
Hmm.
You got Striker. See, they
Yeah, you
added the
got Striker.
best
There you go.
character, like Striker.
Yeah. Yep.
They knew they'd peak. They didn't need anybody else.
He has the best arrest record.
All I'm saying is that Striker would not be on the side of Ice right now. That's all I'm saying.
No, he wouldn't. Nah, he's one of the good ones, as they say. That's for cops. That's why I say about cops. He's one of the good ones. But yeah, so Mortal Kombat, yeah, it is gonna be in that collection, right? That's coming up soon, pretty soon.
I believe so,
Supposed to be
yeah.
getting. Yeah, man.
I'm
I
somewhat excited for that collection.
yeah, I am too, man, honestly. Because I was like, I I kind of do want to play it, like try it out. I hope it's done. I mean, I hope it plays like I can really get into it because like when I play some of those older games, especially when they were on like the Genesis or Super Nintendo, it's not the arcade versions. They're slower, than those versions.
Hmm.
Uh, well, they should be anyway. But they like I remember playing old Mortal Kombat, and I was like, it just doesn't feel right because it's like it's been so long since I played Mortal Kombat, and this was like back in probably the late 2000s, not late 2000s, early 2000s. Like I was still in high school, but playing it on the
Hmm.
emulator, and I was like, I can't get into this again like I used to, or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm hoping, like with this remaster stuff, maybe it's in a way where I can still appreciate it and not feel like it's too old to be played. But no, like I do like that they have this. Like they have that because I like that nostalgia because this is going to have some videos and stuff too, right? Like it's not
Yeah,
going to
that's
just
what
be
I'm hoping. Like, I'm hoping the
yeah,
behind the scenes stuff like keeps me there
that,
because the
yeah.
older games I know is going to be basically like tourism for me. Like, I'm gonna hop in, I'm gonna play a couple of matches, and for the most part, I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, this is what this game felt like
And
back
they
in the
just
day. But
implement
I'm
like
not
one button
gonna.
combos for me, for people like me. And it's like
Oh
the one
yeah,
button, like it does like their actual move, and then the
brutality
fatalities.
with the button.
One button fatalities, man. Like just
Oh, that would
come
be
on,
so
man.
good.
Like it ain't got time for this. I ain't got time. My hands, it's like they can't do that stuff like that anymore,
Although
man.
part of me like wonders, like, because like nowadays they have them in the menu, so you know what they are. So it's just like, yeah, okay, I can press these buttons. I wonder if like the reason I couldn't do them as a kid is just because like I didn't know most of them. The
I
reality
think
is
they
like,
made
oh
him easy.
yeah,
I think they made him easier, honestly.
they definitely
I
did.
think
I mean, I think the hardest
yeah.
part about it is like the ranges. That's what I always had problems with. Is
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah,
what is
exactly.
sweep distance, what is close, what is far, what is middle, stuff like that. It's like, where do I stand to do this? And then,
And for
time's
me,
up and you press
I had the
panic.
3 button Genesis controller, so I didn't know how
Mm.
to do a lot of things. I never did get a 6 button controller.
Mm,
I remember it was
gotcha.
like you had to press select, like you had to do the move, press
Oh, to
select, so
like
you didn't
toggle
change it.
between the
Yeah, yep. That's a real gamer, Daniel. That's somebody who is like they can still pull moves off and do that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty impressive.
all right, so that is it for the flashback segment. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news, and we're back. Let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dad?
All right, Dominic. For this week, we got some sad news. Unfortunately, Mina the Hollower has been delayed. That was originally supposed to release on Halloween, actually, and that is the Yacht Club games. The guys who did Shovel Knight. That is basically their homage to Link's Awakening, but with some like Dark Souls, Souls like run back features.
Darn, man.
Yeah, the demo was out there. The demo didn't blow me away like I had kind of hoped it would, but I'm still excited for that game. But they didn't give a new date for it. They basically said like the game's done, but there's just stuff balancing and polished stuff that they want to take care of.
Just do what everybody else do. Put it out there. Say we got stuff coming. Have fun.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. Yeah. Because basically the idea it sounds like is the difference that they feel between a good game and a great game is this stuff, and they're gonna work on trying to get that done. So good on them. They got the time. There are plenty of games out right now. It's disappointing that game won't
No, there's so
be
few
added
things.
to my
I
pile
have
of
so much.
backlog.
I have so
Yeah.
much time in my hands. There's so few
All
games.
right,
I'm just
Dominic.
struggling to
We'll
find what to
find
play.
we'll reach out to them personally and see if we can get you a copy since you've ran out of every game in existence.
Yeah.
And yeah. All right, Dominic. And some other news. We got a new free story expansion coming for Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's kind of
Oh.
weird that they're going all the way back to that game to
Mhm.
add some content to, but Shadows has come out since then, but I guess we're gonna go back to that one. I had seen some mention of like Saudi Arabia giving them money for this, but I don't know. Here it is, IGN.
Oh God.
Assassin's Creed Mirage's Saudi-backed Valley of Memory expansion looks a generous free side quest, though not many fans would have asked for. So does that
Oh,
mean that
they just
Saudi
getting their
Arabia is
hands
giving them
into
money for this?
everything.
Hey, you got to, Dominic. You got to. Let's see now. Trying to find what they have specifically said here. Why an excursion to what is now Saudi Arabia and why is it free? It's hard to imagine any Assassin's Creed fan reading this not drawing their own conclusion following multiple reports which have discussed
That
the
they really like the
expansion's
Assassin's
funding.
Creed series. That's what I draw. And they just want to help make it great.
Apparently, this is another project funded by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, the one that we discussed last week.
I mean, they're just big fans. Big fans of Assassin's Creed, big fans of EA's
Ubisoft in general.
library. Yeah,
Yep.
and then just man, they just
You know what, Dominic? Saudi Arabia is going to whitewash everything by releasing Titanfall 3. That's going to be the first move they do. That's going to be it.
and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm all for them.
Okay, so
I'm gonna convert. I'm gonna convert to whatever the hell their religion is, because I get them all confused. Honestly, are they Muslim?
There you
go. Are they? What are they? Okay,
yes,
then yes.
Nope, they're Christians.
And then
they love them.
They're different versions of Muslims too. Yeah, I'll convert. Yes, if you give me Titanfall, give me Titanfall. Give me Titanfall and somehow
Titanfall, but it's bad.
and go buy Valve and get me Half-Life 3.
Oh no.
Oh, I think everybody would just say like, oh yes, everybody convert. Say fuck that.
Yep.
I'm like them.
Be on the exactly. Yeah, so that's actually something that I knew there was another big story from last week's Lost podcast, but I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, EA is going private because they have been purchased by the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. That is a wild thing. I think we are I don't know that EA is going to exist for much longer. And that's not to say like because there's something wrong with the Saudi investment fund, but like we saw what happened when what was it? Not Embracer Group. When Embracer Group picked up like all of these studios and then it just kind of fell apart because they didn't know how to manage that stuff. And I'm not particularly excited about the way that the Saudi Public Investment Fund is going to handle all of this stuff that they're picking up. I don't know that EA would have existed.
That sounds very racist of you.
Oh, does it? I'm sorry. I don't know that EA was going to exist much without this investment from them because the reality is like they make Madden money. They've got other things.
So you're saying if like Israel invests into it, they would know how to manage it because
I'm
of
not saying that at
certain
all.
things, huh?
I'm absolutely not saying that, Dominic. They would invest in more Battlefield games somehow. Battlefield 7 Assault on Gaza. All right. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, EA's obviously been falling back like on its tropes for way too long now. And to their credit, I guess you could say like there was that point where they were like, "Oh, hey, here's a second Mirror's Edge. You've been asking for it." And then that
and Unravel 3, right? Unravel 3. We've been asking for Unravel 3, right?
Those games must do well enough for them that they're like the cost of investment is not very high. We're gonna keep churning these things out for like more filler on Game Pass or our EA Origins or whatever.
EA Play, Daniel. That's not Origins.
Oh yeah, sorry. EA Play. Yeah, they haven't really been doing anything of late that has been particularly interesting. They had the Black Panther game, but that got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Or am I confusing that with the other Black Panther game? Because there's a
No,
Black
they
Panther and Captain America one that is coming
uh-huh.
out, and that is from Skydance. But then EA had one from Cliffhanger Games that was like former Shadow of Mordor people, but they
Mhm.
canceled that and closed that studio, I think. I think that's how that went. So, like, yeah, there's not making the best decisions. I mean, who's to say? I don't know what that game looked like or what it was
I was
gonna
about to say
be,
we
but
have no, but it's not looking
people
good.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
games, these potential games that seem like
we got an
something exciting was on the
Iron Man
horizon.
game in the
Yeah.
works still, I believe. Like, it's kinda all over the place.
Yeah, that's gonna be your. This is
Um,
gonna be the opposite of Superman. This is gonna be the one for the MAGA people. That
yeah, lovely.
pro America.
Of course, Iron Man, noted pro-America guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
he's a capitalist, and
he is,
like he,
it's true.
yeah,
His superpower is that he's rich, you're right, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so EA is I don't know. I don't look forward to much of what EA is putting out anyway, and now I'm just like I don't know what there's gonna be for me unless you do pull Titanfall 3 out of your ass at some point. And it be good, obviously.
Now,
You can put Titanfall 3 on anything, but
I heard something about Assassin's Creed, like going back to Assassin's Creed.
mhm.
Well, let's talk about this one, the Assassin's Creed with the Switch 2 thing.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so the, Shadows has leaked out of a retailer, basically saying it's coming to Switch 2. That hasn't been officially announced. I think a lot of people assume that would be the case, but weren't entirely sure because that game is visually, like, very impressive and, the Switch 2, while more powerful than the Switch, is not quite, up to the level of the current gen consoles. But it sounds like that Star Wars Outlaws port turned out pretty well. So Ubisoft does have some level of like experience in getting these games running. The unfortunate thing for the people that are into the physical media is that this would be a game key card. But at the same time, it's a 90 gig game. It sounds like so. Unless you're paying arm and a leg to get one of these cards that's the bigger size ones. I don't know that you would be getting even a $70 Assassin's Creed Shadows on the Switch too. You're probably
Yeah,
looking
exactly.
at something even higher. So I don't know. It's easy for me to kind of write this off because as far as I'm concerned, like the game key cards are a half step for people that are kind of still weird about digital anyway. Like they're
So
just trying
I
to
like,
appease
I like
you.
how you said
Like
that. I like how you said that they're weird about it. Yeah, offend them. You say, well, I gotta be weird because I want to have the things that I buy and not leave it up to them to take it away from me. I'm weird for
but they
that.
can just as easily take away, like we've talked about it before. I mean, that's
Oh yeah, oh
why
yeah, yeah, I know, but
yeah,
this is the
like
same thing they say. I still have not found the argument for what we said. I still have not. I read all these people what these people be saying, and I think the only argument I see is that they say that's not true, and then they don't tell me how it's not true.
right.
Well, I'm not asking. It's like somebody else is asking. But they don't say
I'm
how
gonna
it's not
go
true.
start engaging people on Twitter and going, "Why do you like physical media?" And then going, "Are you telling me that if I own a copy of No Man's Sky, that I would be playing the same game that exists today if I
Yeah,
were
yeah.
to pop it
Oh
into
my
my console
god.
in 5 years?" Like, no,
Exactly.
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Hell, fucking no. You ain't getting none of that shit.
And the unfortunate thing is that is every game. Like, if you can give me 10 examples of a game that has not gotten a patch after release in the last 5 years, I would be impressed. Like, I even the smallest of indie games, like, get Vampire Survivors. Are you telling me that if you gave me that game on the disc when that thing launched, that I would be happy with putting it in my console when there's no internet in 5 years, and playing the same game? No, half of that content that's in there would not be in there anymore. So, like, stop holding on to the past. That there was absolutely a time where I can still, right, go back and grab a Super Mario World cartridge, put it into a console, and play the exact same game that I remember playing. Although even then, like, it's kind of crazy, but like, because it wasn't something that I knew was a thing until later on. But like, let's say what Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, like there were different versions of that
Yes,
game
they were.
that
Yep,
had like
they
Muslim
came out
chanting
later.
in it.
Yeah, they
So
had
they
games that
even
actually came out with different
updated things
versions.
then. And that was obviously like, a one-off kind of fix thing. But yeah, I think it was even, what was it? It was something. Oh, I think it was like the greatest hits games I found out recently. Like they would apply like patches and balancing stuff to some of those games. So theoretically, even though I, as like a quote unquote quote purist back in the day, didn't want the red banded copies of the games or the yellow banded from Nintendo, those could potentially be better versions of the game than what I was getting if I had found an original case, game. I didn't realize that was ever a thing. So this idea that because you own something physically now means you like own it. Eh, I, I just don't think that's the reality that we live in anymore. Like, yes, you
Yeah,
you own a physical thing, but I could also just go online, buy a bunch of empty game boxes and print out covers if I was just like a person that liked having things on my shelf still. Like I was that person one time. I like
yeah,
absolutely.
it was.
But
Yeah,
I grew out of it because I realized what was happening in the world, and what is
like,
more convenient to me is a
and even
game that I can just pull out of the cloud anywhere that I want,
and here's the thing,
and
like
I
in the
don't have to
reality,
move it.
like if I had like let's say like I had a huge house or something where I can just have it on the shelf, and yeah, that'll be I probably would do that. But even then, hypothetically, I would also just probably just wonder, like, you know what? Like, I don't even go in here no more. Like, I don't touch this stuff. It just stays here. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like, is it really worth it? Like I don't know. I mean, it's a like if it's like a collectible kind of cartridge thing, it's yes,
If it
there is
has
something to
some
that.
sentimentality
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
like, if this was
Like
an
because at the end of the
important game,
day,
like, I have copies of, like there's a copy of Link's Awakening for the Game Boy that is right next to me right now, and it has the wear along the top from me pulling it out of the Game Boy and putting it back in the Game Boy and whatnot. That's not a game I'm gonna sell. But, like, I was telling you, I went through my GameCube collection and I got rid of a whole bunch of games that like somebody wants for a lot of money. And to me, they were just sitting in a box somewhere. I was never gonna display
yeah,
them. I didn't have some reverence for Def Jam Fight for New York or even the Pokemon games. If you're gonna give me $200 for a game that I played 20 years
yeah,
ago and
yeah.
has been otherwise sitting in a box for me, then go right ahead and give me your money. You're doing me a favor by getting stuff out of my house.
All right. Oh yeah. Now back to like Assassin's Creed. So
Yes.
what I see here is that the there has been announced. I see on Polygon. So I'm making sure it was real, but I now see on Polygon. So unless it is, the canceled Civil War Assassin's Creed game was a
Okay, I'd
powder
seen that
keg
headlight.
waiting to explode. This was that's the headline of the Polygon article. There was a Assassin's Creed game that was going to be made in the Civil War's time, and the protagonist was going to be black, but they canceled it. They canceled. They said due to the politics and the protagonist's backlash,
Cowards.
and
Cowards.
yeah, yeah, that too. But it's also yeah,
Backlash? It wasn't even like publicly announced. Where were you getting backlash from? Your racist
well,
employees?
Yeah, well, I think
You're in
they
France.
I think they were saying, hey, they got enough backlash from this black guy who did exist me at some time in
Yeah.
Japan, but people didn't like
I
that,
mean,
and
they did
they still say
liberation.
they still saying that they still saying that. Well,
They did
liberation, yeah,
and
yeah,
the other one,
nobody complain
the
about that.
freedom cry.
Yeah, but because people are more, they're being out there, like they're saying, like people are more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Racist.
I
Outwardly
don't think
racist.
I don't think. Yeah, okay, outwardly yes, but I don't think they're more.
Outwardly
I think
racist. The
they were
mask
already
off now,
there.
Dominic. Yeah,
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 they
no,
could take the mask
absolutely.
off. Yeah. Donald Trump,
They took the hood
he
off,
gave them
Dom.
hope. He said like, hey, he was like, just like how like Gay said, come out the closet. He was like, come out the closet, you racist. I can be yourself. It's like, stop, don't hold it in.
Give your parents those sheets back. You don't need them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Tell them who you are, and you don't give a fuck. But yeah. So I mean, I see that, but and yeah, so I'm like, darn, it's kind of unfortunate. I mean, it is unfortunate. I mean, I feel like you making a game, and the way Assassin's Creed made games, yes, it's unfortunate. I mean, good or not, like that was a potential game being made, and people still like the series, and
I
the
think that's
last,
an interesting time period too. Granted, I
yeah,
thought the American, revolution stuff would have been interesting
yeah,
too, and 3 kind of fell flat, but that doesn't mean that this one couldn't have succeeded where that one failed.
exactly, and it's yeah, I mean, yeah, it sucks that it would have been that, but it's like whatever, man. It's like at some point you gotta just say like, oh, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. It's like it's either that, and then some people say, no, yeah, just sit. Somebody said, no, they stopped because they saw like the other one didn't sell because of what they did. And I was like, I thought the other one. I mean, what was the
Because
expectations for
of
the other
what they
one?
did.
What am I saying? What was the expectations for that one?
Right.
Because I thought it sold. I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear failure. Put it like this. I didn't see nothing like, oh man, Ubisoft failed at this. I mean, because nowadays I don't even know what the expectations for games are.
Yeah.
What's it called? Shadows.
Shadows. According to the AI answer, they between 2.5 and 3.7 million copies have been sold, with over 5 million players having accessed the game.
Oh, because
So
of probably Ubisoft Play or
again,
something.
yeah, I wonder what the expectation is, because it feels like anything over 2 million copies has been pretty good for,
Yeah, and now
a
if you're going to
standard
compare it
game.
to like the older Assassin's Creed, where they were selling shitload of stuff, it's like it's a different time now. Like how many Assassin's Creed has
It's a
there
different
been?
market, yeah.
It's like you're at the. It's not in the same kind of vein of like, oh, more people are going to buy this now. Like there's nothing to really entice that. Um, to say like some games like Call of Duty's, like when Call of Duty was at a time where it was like kept going more and more and more, and then you get to like a point where it's kind of stagnant or go down because it's just you gotta break something fresh. And with this, the freshness was basically when y'all did the Egyptian and the Odyssey one. Like it did
Mhm.
those two because they were different from the previous ones in
Yeah.
ways. Now you're kind of comfortable. I mean, you kind of got the same. Like, well, the last one you kind of went back a little bit, like you was trying to do something like similar to the old ones with the
Yeah,
new ones,
Mirage, yeah.
but still, it's been like, yeah, I don't know. I think selling 2 million copies. I mean, that sounds like a lot to me, but then again, yeah, I probably sold what? I mean, what? Maybe 10. I don't know how many copies they sold. How much they selling like the Assassin's Creed 2 like era game?
Yeah.
2 sales. Well, that wouldn't be fair because it's been out so much longer too to even
Right.
like look at that. But just curiosity, just to see like, let me see. On the Wikipedia
1.6 in
page.
its first week, reaching more than 9 million copies within 6 months, allegedly.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. I mean, but that's also a sequel to a game that There was some
That had
mixed
a
bag.
lot of promise and then like
Yeah. Hey,
delivered this time
overall
on the
good. Not just
promise.
some people say they don't like it. Overall, I think like it was still light. Like it wasn't not fucking hated or nothing.
Yeah.
Only like you got people who are outcry, but like you see the views and stuff, it's like they were generally good. And then you got a sequel to this, and that was so much better. And like what some people kind of consider like one of the best ones, this trilogy they have with it. And yeah, so I expected like this, like that to like this game not to sell comparable to this one. Like I would actually be surprised if it did. If they would have, like I would never expect that. And I definitely don't think they did either. They do, but they do. Anyway. But yeah, it's but yeah, because I don't because to put like this, the sales I don't think it equates to because of what because of like the politics and stuff. Like I just don't think it does to that. I think it's all based on the game and for them, like I said, like with what the expectations probably are for sales, I think it's for them it's probably not worth it to even go through that stuff. Like to have to deal with that shit. Um, and maybe they don't see the sales for that game. That Assassin's Creed particularly. I don't know because I'm curious. Like if there is another, if they do another Assassin's Creed, because I mean I just don't know what Ubisoft is like what the future is. If they do another Assassin's Creed, like where will it be at? Like what's their Because now that I know that they didn't do that, the Civil War one, I'm like, where's your next location then?
Yeah, I know they like there's that they were doing like Assassin's Creed as a platform. I know there's that like which one? Assassin's Creed Hex was something that's been announced. I don't
Is
know
that
if
going to take place during the witch trials over here or somewhere else?
it looks like that's what I thought. What is the
And that'll piss me off because like, oh, you're still doing America, but you're
set
just
in
doing
the
the
Holy Roman Empire during the 16th
oh,
century witch
okay.
trials. So yeah, because they had announced that not with anything much outside of like a teaser trailer, but yeah, and that could be interesting. Obviously, yeah. In a lot of ways, I think this similarly to like 3, right, where it's like, oh, they're finally doing something in America. This could be interesting. Something about the history that we're even more familiar with. Yeah, and I think the Civil War is a very interesting. Now, the problem with that, and maybe they've already done this in a way, but like, do you set the Templars up as Confederates and then like tie that lineage together, or are they like this shadow third party that is not just a whole bunch of people
I
fighting
would
for
do a shadow
slavery?
third party because I wanted to make the Templars not easy to hate. Like
Right.
you can
Yeah.
see what they because like they say they want order, and there's an understanding to that because it's like we see what happens when you. I mean, we people as people, like what can possibly happen if you let people have too much free will. Like they do some crazy shit, like shit, like yeah, it's like yeah, I want us to have more free will, but then if I see something like what those people do on the side, like I don't like some of the conservative people and stuff like that, and that confuse them. I don't like some of the things they do, or like free speech. Like to say like free speech, like it's like I like the idea of free speech. But I'm saying like I don't think everybody should be able to speak though. Honestly,
Yeah.
like if you know this person is saying things that's hateful or something like that, I feel like it's okay to like say no. Like if a college says like no, you can't talk here or something like that. Like and because I think it's like hey, free speech should be where like you can't get arrested. Yes, I that's where I read that's where it should stand, and that's it. Like you can't get arrested for what you say, whatever. Like the consequence is not you can be able to get arrested. But people, if you go in somebody's like property or you like a school or something, they can tell you to go. They can tell you like you can't do that here. Now you can go on like a public street or something and talk about stuff. Go ahead, but you can't disturb the peace in a way, like something like that. Or like if it comes back, your free speech is disturbing the peace, like people get rallied, then you have to stop. But there's also stopping for your own safety, also. Like because it's the peace is being disturbed. Like you can't have that. But you like so that's where like I understand where like you need some type of rules set here and something like that. Like not that the assassins are all like, hey, we just do anything, but yeah, it's levels to it, like that's what I want them to keep it that way. Like if they make it too like that, they say, oh yeah, they were actually on the Confederate side. You're making it too easy to hate them, like, well, to hate them or to feel like, oh, they're being wrong. Like, no, so I guess they're the good guys then, but for some certain people or something like that. Like,
find the moral superiority. Or
yeah. I like to make it a little more like, hey, I understand their point or whatever. With them, like, so no, so yeah, I would do that. Like, they're controlling it. Like the war is somewhat like it not mattering who wins. There's some other benefit to it, to this war that they're doing, that is being used to mask what they want or what the assassins want, or like something like that. Like, and they're kind of all over the place.
All I'm saying, Dominic, is that John Wilkes Booth was definitely a Templar.
Man, it's yeah, it sucks that can't get that because people are like, because you see, his money's all right. I just wish, man, like people would just take chances, like, but I know money is not infinite, and like to spend it, like you have to spend that money and take that chance of it potentially not selling. Like, I'm not even talking about just the culture stuff, just not selling, like, because I wish somebody would just go ahead, like write their story and just put it out there.
I think that's why they need to make smaller games, take what you've got with like Mirage, right? And then just build on that. Like, you don't have to rewrite the engine, you don't have to redo everything. Take those resources that you have, build a smaller town to explore or whatever, and tell a more intimate story. Like, that's all I could see you doing to avoid that, that money factor, right? But
Yeah,
seemingly never going to even go that far. So yeah, what do you do? How do you
like
do
at
you
this
just wait
point,
for an indie
everything is
studio to make a
people make
similar type
everything,
thing?
like people make it everything political, like yeah, politics is everywhere, man. But it's like some people are making something more political just because they are looking for it, and that goes for like either side. But yeah, like some people, they look for something like saying, oh, like when they say like, oh, because there's someone's gay, this gotta be, they're trying to push something, and it's like, no, the character's just gay. It's like sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
it's nothing there. Now, sometimes there, because yes, sometimes there is an agenda, like in the writing you can read it and it'd be so obvious because the writing is kind of bad, and it's like, oh, the other push something, but it's not like I find like I'm offended by it though. It's not, and that's the thing. Like
I'm more
you're
offended
kind
by
of,
the terrible writing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm offended at the writing, but I'm not offended by what their message though. It's like it's saying like, yeah, I get it. I'm just offended that like, why are you telling me this? I already know. Like this stuff. Like you're teaching lessons. It's like this is for younger people or something like that because they're more accepting to learn. Like this isn't for the age group that this game is made for, 17 and plus. It's like these people almost like this game ain't going to teach them. Put it like that. They ain't going to learn the moral of things from your game. Like that has to be somewhere else, or they're gone. It's lost on them. It's lost on anybody who's looking at this. It's like I don't. Yeah, but yeah, it's like listen, it's going to be like you can't avoid it. I mean, you can. I guess you can avoid a certain level of it, but I just feel like like just. I mean, I don't know. It's like I guess it's what is the priority. If you're here to make money, then it's very easy. Every protagonist needs to be white, white and a man. And well, it doesn't have to be a man though. It could be a woman, but she has to be very attractive. So a white man, and you know what? It doesn't even have to be a white woman. It can't be particularly a black woman though. It could be ambiguous. Like kind of
Yeah.
light skinned, somewhat.
Mhm.
But as long as she's very attractive and sexy looking,
Traditionally
then it's
attractive.
yeah,
Please.
and like yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. But yeah. You got to have
Yeah.
nice boobs. Not too big a butt, like just a nice, really nice. Like she do Pilates and
The
stuff like that.
squats, yeah.
Yeah, squats, yes. And yeah, like she look good in a bathing suit because you're gonna have to have that DLC. For the bathing suit and that so as long as that's your character, then they make your story. They have none of that stuff. Just write in woke on the internet, and you can find out what all woke stuff is, and just don't have that shit in there. Everything heterosexual, and like that's if that's the whole point is just to make sure you just appeal to the most broadest of audience. That's easy. That's so easy to do.
All right,
It's
I'm gonna
really
make
just
that
making a
game,
good game.
Dominic. We'll see how
It's
well
really
it
just
works.
making it. Yes, like as a story, that's easy to do. Now the gameplay and all that stuff. That's what you got to do. You got to get the appeal of
Well,
like,
now you expect me to
all
make
right.
a good one of those, man.
Well,
I
that's the only
mean,
way it's going to sell.
sure.
Because you can still have those. You can still have all those things. Like I said,
I don't know. I'm gonna
that's
get
just
it on like the Turning Point
that just
USA
gets
website, and then it'll
gets
just
everybody
sell everywhere.
like on board because you're going to get the people who are very like who do not like who are very homophobic and stuff like that. They'll like that because it's very heterosexual, and people who even are okay with homosexuals and all that stuff, they'll be okay too because they just like people. So it's like you get everybody. You might get a few people who do complain and say like, "Oh man, why this person can't be that?" That's that you're not losing anybody with that. Honestly, you're not going to lose because people who even feel like they do, they'll still play the game because it's like, hey, as long as it's not really broadly offensive, they're just a man and a woman. That's fine. Um,
Okay.
they just the traditional what people they're those people's idea of traditional man and woman. But anyway, but then you still have to build a nice story, maybe have a nice story and a nice gameplay with it though. But other than that, like that should just be your template. Just have that. A muscular man, a man strong muscular man, or like a very sexy woman or something like that. And then with the woman, see thing is with that, you can like don't even say like, oh, don't even say anything about her being like, oh, look, we got a woman protagonist. No, don't mention it. Just let it happen. That'll be fine. Because even if someone complained about her being too like you made her like very sexy, like that's not like a traditional woman, those weirdos, they will argue for you and be like, what they say, like whatever, there are attractive women, blah blah blah. And it's like look, it's like look, they have a woman starting, that's good enough, they say that's pro right there. And just because she don't look she looks like you're like that, not the traditional woman per se, like that, you shouldn't hate on the game and blah blah blah. Let those guys argue. Just let everybody argue on the internet. Like you don't say anything about that. You just let it play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it sucks, but because in reality, like I just feel like you just shouldn't care. Like you shouldn't care about that. Like because just make a game because that stuff is like you can't. I don't know how you are. You can't really argue with them with that because it's like it's hateful stuff. It's like I'm not gonna appeal. Like, am I supposed to appeal to them? It's like is that what I'm supposed to do? But like I
Yeah.
said, but it's like which yeah, what is it like? What's your priority? The priority is to make money, and you feel like that's the only way. If you just make it like that, then do it. But other than that, like I wouldn't even mention that. Like I would, I like. I think. I mean, I think it's probably the person who told this story was I don't think they have a name that they gave their name or anything. They were anonymous, probably.
Mhm.
I didn't read the whole story, but I mean that's yeah, like yeah, because I know they wouldn't have just told that story because that would just yeah, that just brings even more controversy for them.
Yeah.
But it sucks. Like it sucks that like you would do it just because of controversy. It's like ah man, like you gotta tell me like oh no, this game ain't gonna sell or something like that. And you know, it's better get the money for it. Because those people ain't going away. They're not going away. I don't know. Like you said, the climate now. See, climate implies that it will. Like yes, it does change. Things change, but like I don't. When is there like so? How long is it like this wait? Then like oh the climate is not good now. So when is it? When is the climate good? When's the climate going to be good now? Because I have no idea. All right. What else? What news we got, man?
All right, Dominic. So we got some news that Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is going to be coming out with a free update in the future. They didn't give us kind of a timeline for this, but it's going to include a new environment and new enemies, as well as some new UI localization options, including many languages that we don't speak because those are already in there. But that's cool. Sounds like this game has sold exceptionally well for a smaller project, and this is what some of these AAA studios need to look at and go, hey, I can make
Quadruple
a
A
game this
Studios.
size.
Quadruple A
What's
Studios too.
that?
Thing.
Yes,
Quad,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
quadruple octagonal A studios. They should look at this game as a template and go, oh hey, we don't need to do all of this. We can make much smaller things. Get more project leads in there, spread out the resources a little more, and build more interesting things instead of fewer generic things. You can still have your Call of Duties, but you know, I mean shit, even within the Call of Duty thing, like the single player for Call of Duty is where they should feel comfortable experimenting, because the reality is people are going to buy that game regardless. And like if you do something kind of cool and neat, people will talk about it. And if they don't, people already weren't talking about your single player stuff. The people
hmm
that do play it, like I used to, and you still occasionally do, we play it, we get through it, and then we're done with it. It's not something that like sticks with us, but you could very easily take the budget that you put into those and create several different experiences.
Yeah, because those budgets be huge for something that at the end of the day is so forgettable.
Then yeah, most people are writing off entirely because they're just getting that game for multiplayer and just happen to play the single player when
Yeah,
when their buddies aren't online or something like that.
because yeah, I want to know like I wish like they can somebody can separate the budget. Somebody can get in and see what the budget exactly how much they spend on the single player compared to the multiplayer and because if that single player is like a certain is like millions of dollars, it's almost like why? Because it's like
Yeah.
dirt. And like you could have because you could have done so much more then. Like yeah, this is what you do with that all that money you spent like on making it.
And I think it's
Like
interesting because a few years ago they did basically just take like the multiplayer maps and then write like single player stuff around that, right? So like obviously it's not just like a key to success, but also it feels like there's a right way to do that. Like you created those resources for the multiplayer anyway. You take that, you tell an interesting story on those maps, and like you can get away with that. But I'm shocked that they haven't figured out a way to do that.
it's such a bloated game, like Call of Duty, with all the everything they got in it, and it's like so much. And I mean, it's almost like, yeah, man, it's a lot of game, but it just feels so bloated and that it would, and for it to not to be like, yeah, if you could say the multiplayer, the part of just play multiplayer itself is great, then it's like, what the fuck is everything else for? Then they can save so much fucking money. Then honestly, they probably should just focus on fucking Warzone. And can you just use this? Yeah, use all the money on Warzone or something, and can you make some actual real like a good game, like a good single player experience or something like game or something like that? I don't know. It's just like what a waste. Then like why even do that? Like you could why just make something good then if you're going to spend that money because like how like, like the creative stuff, like I was saying, the creativity can't cause that much. The creativity, like that is like so you got the budget. It's like you can't be more creative with it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess finding the right people, right? That's what it comes down to. To tell those stories, to want to tell those
Yeah,
stories.
yeah, I guess it is.
But yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like a game that makes that much money, you can find the right people. I
Yeah,
just feel like
you can
it's
attract the
almost like
right people.
yeah, I feel like you just you almost maybe it's a friend thing. I don't know. Maybe it's like, hey, I know this guy. Just make something here, get a check.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah. All right, let's get to this last bit. That the one we spoke in the last podcast, but since there was some problems with the last podcast, we're going to talk about it
The
here. The
Lost
big news.
Podcast.
Yeah, which I don't know. I might still put up in some time in the future. It might just be like, hey, there's
Bonus
502.
pod.
But so go ahead. Yeah, you might as well go ahead.
Yeah, so our final story here, revisiting the Xbox Game Pass price increases effectively. It's a 50% increase across the board. Game Pass Ultimate has become $30, up from about $20. And then the lower tiers, the middle tier is now $15, up from $10. And then that last one, I think, is what, $10 up from like $8 or something like that. I don't think it was ever like $5, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, $30 is way too much for this service. You know, it's a service that we've touted for a very long time as a great value for people that would like to try a whole bunch of games. But
And it was.
now they're making this $30. They're trying to justify that through the addition of things like the Fortnite like season pass thing and Ubisoft classics.
And the
But the
Fortnite Pass
reality
thing.
is,
Hold on, like this is thing real quick.
sorry.
The Fortnite Pass thing is like you get in their currency, right? Current currency, and maybe do you get costumes or something with it, or just is it
Yeah,
just
you essentially get, some costumes as well as like the ability to unlock additional characters and costumes.
oh okay.
You basically complete challenges throughout the season and then accrue levels. And if you get to a certain level, you get like the max, costume for a
Oh yeah,
character
because
and
challenges
stuff
let
like
you,
that.
yeah, because you can't get the new costumes right away. You got to do certain things in the game
Yeah.
to be able to get them. Okay, yes.
Yeah. So there's that stuff. So basically something that you would be dedicating a lot of time to. The Ubisoft Classics catalog, that's just more games to play, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's older games. So the service that we used as like oh hey, here's the new Microsoft games, awesome, because day one Game Pass stuff, that's something they touted for a very long time. Despite the fact that when you look in the rearview mirror, and even at the time we started to criticize it a lot more, you can tell me that your games are going to come to Game Pass on day one, but if you aren't releasing any of those games
Yeah, they've
and
been
you've
slow.
had 3 or 4 price increases from the time that you started touting that as a feature, and you've only had, a couple of games come out since then.
We had
And
Starfield. We had
yeah, we had Starfield, we had South of Midnight.
Yeah.
Even something like the Oblivion remaster, Avowed, Indiana Jones. There's some things, absolutely.
Yeah, they had some things. Yeah. There's some things. Yeah, but it
But
took
if
a
I
while.
were to count out how much money I gave them for Game Pass versus like what it would have cost to just play those games,
to get those games,
yeah,
you would have
it would probably be
saved.
disappointing.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other stuff on Game Pass, so
exactly.
It was Diablo. Well, no, Diablo 4 didn't come out when it first came out. You had to wait. Because officially they weren't
owned by them at the time.
No, owned by them. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's
and the benefit is, there are some of the smaller games that even something like we just mentioned before, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, having that was getting good buzz from reviews, but allowing people the opportunity to just try it themselves because it's in a service that they already have just expands that audience even more. You can even go back as far as like Rocket League. It being in PlayStation Plus was a huge thing for that game. Vampire Survivors in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I would never have touched that game
on Game Pass.
High on Life. High on Life was another one that came on Game Pass.
High on Life, yeah, absolutely. So that's where I like that service is. I was telling you this when we were talking about like what we would do going forward. Like, I know I wasn't necessarily getting the value from it for myself, but I knew because you were using it as well. Like, you were getting my value for me, but it also allowed me to just like kind of forget that the service was being paid for. And when I wanted to play something new, or when you told me about a game that was on there that was really cool, all I have to do is boot it up and get into it. Like it made things super accessible. And that's why I liked having it. And that's why I didn't mind paying for it, because it was like Netflix, where it's just like, oh, hey, this show is out now. I've been paying for the last 2 months and I should have probably been smart enough to cancel it. But oh, hey, now that this show is out, just boot it up, play it, watch the show, whatever. It's there. Even when it got to $20, it was like, maybe I should rethink this. But like, for the most part, it's still not unreasonable for the amount of games that are available, even if I may not be playing them. Access to that library is still a convenience. $30, when you put it in percentages, 50% more than what I was paying before. Taking half that price and adding it onto it, that's too much. And when you're trying to tell me that the added value is now things that are just that I have no interest in, and that are in a lot of ways, to me, you just bloating this service, because even the people that are into Fortnite, like, are they going to be as interested in playing all of these other games? Because they've got Fortnite to play. They've got hours and hours of Fortnite to play.
I was about to say, because how much does that pass on its own? Because
it's like $12-13 right now. Let's say like $15 at most. That's $15. That's half the price.
Yeah, so that's, I don't know, man. That's like how much the hours they play Fortnite. Like, I don't know. Exactly. You don't have enough time to play these other games that it becomes not worth it.
Right.
If you're a person who just plays Fortnite, like hours of Fortnite in a week, like, you may want to play one other game. Like, oh, I want to try something else. Is it worth it to have Game Pass though, or just buy another game?
Right. Yeah. So now with kind of all that said, the premium tier, which is the middle tier now, which is this $15 tier, they are adding cloud streaming to that. They are also adding cloud streaming, I believe, to the lowest tier, but with some limitations. And there's an I don't know that it's officially been confirmed, but there's a rumored free tier of Xbox Cloud streaming that may be ad supported. But this $15 tier, you're not going to get the shortest wait times. You're not going to get the highest resolution, but you will get Xbox Cloud streaming. You will get the catalog of games, but you will be losing out on day one games. So there's a trade-off there. There's oh, hey, maybe at $15, I'm now paying less than what I was paying. So I could move to this tier instead, still have access to that catalog. But I am missing out on day one games, which is something that you touted for so long. And I think my biggest disappointment there is because you've seemingly now, well, I shouldn't even say seemingly, because you've now lost this generation, you have no leverage. And Sony won. Sony, and I don't mean, oh, they won the console battles. They won in their anti-consumer kind of war there. And that's not to say like, oh, killing the consumer or anything. But the reality is Microsoft had a more consumer-friendly product, a subscription service where they were offering you their published games on day one for the cost of this service. Sony was offering a subscription service similarly that did not offer that. And then you might eventually get those games later on down the line. And instead of forcing Sony to become more consumer friendly and offer those games on day one,
and have it on PC,
Microsoft now put us, and also that has now put us in the position where we have to settle for not having those games on day one and taking that step back to Sony's position, or pay double, literally double, because it's $15 versus $30. I don't even know that I even thought about that. You're effectively asking me to pay double every month for the privilege of getting your games on day one when you eventually decide to release games here and there. And that is again where it becomes kind of untenable. Like when you start to put all of these contextual pieces together about what a $30 Game Pass looks like, it just becomes unreasonable to me. Because the reality was, like, even if you're giving up on the console business, which only further like builds my distrust in Microsoft, right? Because and it's not that, it may be a smart business decision for them to get out of that. But why would I trust to give you money to build up this library if you might be taking your ball and going home? And at this point, from an outsider's point of view, it doesn't make sense to me for you to make a new console. So, like,
yeah, it doesn't.
I understand why you would take your ball and go home. You're not making money off of it. But if what we were hearing that like the Xbox Live, the streaming stuff was costing them a lot of money at one point in time, why are you now adding that feature to all of these tiers? Wouldn't that just make your burden higher? And now you've got this handheld that you're coming out with from ROG, Asus. You're partnering with them. That handheld's expensive.
Yeah, it's like, who is it? That's the thing. Like, who is that for? Because I almost feel like the enthusiasts. It's like, it's for the video game enthusiasts. I almost feel like they already bought something very expensive, or they have something like.
I mean, they bought a Steam Deck, which was cheaper.
Yeah, they either bought something else that's similar to that, or they just have a superpower PC. The handheld, I mean, it's nice, but it's like, do they really need it? Or something like that? I don't.
Yeah, the use case.
Yeah, it's like you're going for such a niche. It's like that's a very niche market, because that's not mass. That's not something like the masses are going to be looking at. Like, because with that price,
I think they got fooled a little bit into Well, I shouldn't even say that because it's all rumor stuff that it sounds like has been turned down. But it feels like to me that they got duped a little bit, right? The Switch was successful. The Steam Deck comes out. That's been relatively successful. I think we can say relatively because you don't see a Steam Deck everywhere. You don't get on the bus and see 5 people
No.
playing Steam Decks. This isn't a Game Boy. This isn't even a DS. We're not in Japan where, everybody is on
Well,
some kind of device.
we don't have trains like that over here either. That's
We don't. No.
so weird too. It's so weird that a
But you
small country like them and like a large country like us wouldn't have like some super train to go across the freaking
yeah,
California
it's
somewhere or
weird.
something
It's
like that.
almost it's almost like we fucked up. Um But I think they saw the sales of the Steam Deck, and I think a lot of the companies did, right? Like everybody has one of these things. Asus does with the Ally, MSI does with the Claw, Lenovo does with the one that's like the Switch, where the Legion Go, where the sides come off and can become mice. Um, but those are hardware companies anyway, right? Like they're
Yeah.
producing graphics cards, they're producing motherboards. They can produce all of this hardware that they need to. So they can step into that space and they're also in a lot of ways selling to an enthusiast brand, right? Like in ROG, if I'm buying a motherboard tomorrow, unless I have a ridiculous amount of money to spend on my build, I'm not buying Republic of Gamer components. Those components are marked up because they are for quote unquote gamers, and they usually are top tier stuff. There is some value to buying a nicer thing like that, but there is also a branding payment that you are a tax that you're paying because you want the ROG thing. It's going to have more RGB on it, Dom. Um, so so you can sell an ROG Ally to an enthusiast. And yeah, maybe they are hoping that that's what this is. And I think maybe we're misunderstanding what Microsoft is doing here. Maybe
I don't
they
know because
understand that
I
slapping
just want
their
to know
name on it.
this enthusiast like is this like the best handheld out there? There's nothing better because I feel like if you're going to spend this money, there's something I'll buy something else like
I
something
think
more
depending
powerful.
on what level we're talking about, you have the enthusiasts that are going to buy literally every one of these, right? And then you have the enthusiasts that are just like super into PC gaming and yeah, will probably buy something that has higher specs than this and might in fact not buy this because it is Xbox branded. They might want something that is underlying running Linux instead, like the Steam Deck does, because there's more freedom to hack it
Yeah,
apart a little bit.
exactly.
Yeah, one of these like GDP wins or something like that. There's
It's
brands that
yeah.
existed before these things blew up alongside the Steam Deck. Um, so I'm thinking they're hoping they will sell to the people that will buy this thing and won't even necessarily play it. They'll just give them their money and, eventually it'll collect dust next to the other people. And that's why I think a lot of this is like they jumped in on this partnership with Asus because Asus was already making these things. Like this is effectively not that much different than what Asus would have just put out as the Ally 2. In
Yeah.
fact, there probably is going to be an Ally 2 anyway. So they work on their software a little bit, which they needed to do anyway, because if you provide the software, right, then there's a place for people to buy your games. And I think to like circle this square, that's what frustrates me with this whole idea of Game Pass, where they're moving in the direction of selling a subscription. They're moving in a direction of selling a service. And they've only made it harder to access that service. You want a service that you sell to a consumer and then they forget about that they're paying, whether they're using it or not. It benefits you more if they're not using it, right?
Yeah.
As long as they're still giving you that money. But from day one, when they came out with the Series S and it wasn't cheaper than it was, that was a step in the wrong direction for me. But it wasn't fully. The Game Pass was still a good value. They could have been smarter about that. They could have sold more. They could have sold you a streaming stick that gives you access directly to Game Pass, so you don't need a bulky box because, oh hey, now I can just stream some of these games on here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go around like PlayStation. PlayStation did that PS Now thing where they hooked up to the TV. And I feel like Microsoft could have did something similar where they, like you said, they just partner with these companies, which they partner with some, but not enough. They partner with like the most expensive ones, and like the ones that, it's like yo, I ain't getting that TV. Like, give me something. But
shockingly, they also just weren't selling their own thing. That's what is crazy to me. They choose to go, oh hey, in your Samsung TV, you can get this, instead of producing a $20 dongle or something and then selling it for $100 or $50 and saying, hey, you get this, you get 2 months free of Game Pass, and then hopefully a ton of people buy those things, plug them in, and then never use them. And I say that speaking from experience. I'm not being judgmental. I just know how this stuff goes sometimes because I've been that Mark who has bought a thing thinking that he's going to use it and then not really going to use it. And then, oh, hey, now you add this subscription service layer to it. Like I mentioned earlier, Netflix, like I'm trying to think of a time from when I first signed up for Netflix where I had canceled Netflix. And there might have been a time, and it might have been actually somewhat recently, where I was like, okay, I'm taking a couple months break because you raised the price and I'm not watching anything on this. And then something came along, I signed back up, and now I've been signed back up since God knows when. That's what you should strive for in your subscription service. And these large jumps, we wouldn't be having this conversation, Dominic, if they had raised the price to $22.
Yeah.
That's effectively what I was paying anyway, I think, after tax or whatever. I was actually kind of surprised Netflix, it was only $20.
Yeah, Netflix, I mean, they were doing some jumps, but it was incremental. And I mean, people still were complaining, but it wasn't until like a few of them, like those jumps, then people start saying like, man, they start realizing like how much they're paying now. But like a little bit there, like you go up a little bit and something like that. But nah, y'all had to go like, fuck it, we're going $10. We're going 10. They say we're going 10.
And again, it's not even that it's just 10. That is literally an additional half of the price that I was just paying. It's 50% more. Like it's hard to put that in a perspective where that is not a lot of money.
And you try to add more value to it, but it's like you can't. I was like, with this, to me, you can't. You can add whole goddamn library, probably. Like, I just say all the games in here.
We've got PlayStation games now, somehow.
Yeah. It's just like I don't have time. It's like I don't want that. That's the thing. I don't have time. I can't play all these things. Like it doesn't matter. Like you gotta give me something. You couldn't give me like we said before, like the family plan. You can't give us a family plan or something. Can you at least say like it's $30, but 3 people can get up here,
right?
Because I'm sorry, because like here it is. Like adults play video games.
Even Nintendo offers at this point. I just want to point that out. Like
adults play video games. The most all right. So adults, and they have kids. So like you gotta have an adult who wants to play video games. You got the kids. And they probably got more than one kid. Maybe they got more than one kid who wants to play video games. What are you trying to tell me they each got to get one? I mean, because in reality, you're going to have to share like one. But that sucks because some of these games are made like Tony Hawk, where you can only have one profile, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
And like these games are made in a way where it's hard to have only one to have more than one profile with the game. Like they don't make it easy for you with that shit. Like a lot of times they don't, and then like for the popular games, and that which is awful within itself. But you made it where like so for me to have it make it easy for them, I have to buy each of them a Game Pass subscription. Like, are you fucking serious? Now there is a way like you can do it like how we did it, where I was either you went well at one point you were sharing mine, and then when I left, I shared with yours. Was that when we had the Xbox Ones and I could play your library under my name. Right. So it was still under my name. I mean, I was still under my name, but it was on your subscription. But on PC, they don't let you do that on PC. Right. And now with the console, so there might be a way. I don't know how you can do that with more than one person though, because from what I saw, it was only 2 people can do that. Yeah, it was only me and you can do that. Nobody else can come on and get on a subscription that way. And it's not an easy. That's not an easy setup. It's a loophole, really. It's not a thing that they advertise. You have to go look up to see how to do it. They don't tell you how to fucking do it. And so it's not a thing that's like really meant for the masses to all be doing. And then, like I said, you want something simple where you want like maybe 1 to 4 people. These like family 4. They say you do it 4. You do it like you have you, your 2 kids, and a dog. I assume the wife don't play because women don't play video games. That's what I'm at. But anyway, that's how I was joking. But anyway, yeah, it just isn't. Yeah, I don't like. They should have had something. That's why I felt like they should have added that. Like, I mean, it's still bad, but I felt like they had to add like more than one person can get on that freaking plan, the ultimate plan, for that to be that price. Because it's like, I'm sorry, man, that's too much. Like for just one person, I was like, come on, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Is like value wise, yes. But all those games, you add up the value of all those games, and then go through the year. Like, yes, you make out I'm spending less than what they are, but it's not about just value, it's about time. So that's why you need to add. Other person's going to be like, hey, we're making this value good because we're actually playing games or something. There's more than one person up here playing some games. So we actually making it feels like it's a nice value here. Because like with Netflix and them, like some of those tiers, yeah, it went up, but it's not. A lot of people I know, they don't got the single. They got the ones where you get multiple, people on your thing,
multiple streaming.
So time, yeah, I don't remember on top of my head, but
whether they lock that into your quote unquote household or not,
Yeah, it's still more than but that's what I'm saying. Xbox doesn't have that. No,
right?
They don't even have that. Like that's what I was saying. Is like, why can he have that as one household? Because like my friend, because his daughter plays games, because he's like, because he said for himself he don't really need it, and now she's getting older, so he doesn't know how much she plays. But I guess he's just gonna find like kind of see like if she ever gets old.
When I cancel it, she comes storming in the room. Hey, I was playing.
Yeah, he probably just hoping that she moved on to doing teenage girl stuff. But
like Fortnite.
Yeah. But yeah, well, he lucky she not into that. But I don't know, man. Like I have no idea. And he lucky. Oh yeah, he's also lucky she stopped playing Roblox because that's what she was playing.
Oh jeez,
It's bad. I mean, this is awful. Like it's such a weird world we live in, where like things that we see are what we would consider like failing or not doing as well raise their prices.
Right.
And that will fix the problem. And I just don't know.
The consumer can't afford the thing to begin with.
Yeah, and then when the economy is not even at a space with that. Like you're not doing well. The economy is changed. You don't lower it, but you raise it. It's I don't know. It's such a weird, man. That is so freaking weird, and it's horrible. This is bad. It's like this isn't good for nobody. This is awful. Like I already said like a few years ago, like the state of gaming, man, has gotten. I don't know what it is, like what's going to happen, and like because it's not looking good. Because like I said, when PlayStation, when I said it, when PlayStation was doing so well, I was like, this isn't good. They don't have nothing, and they're doing well. That's not good. They're literally selling, and they don't like out of their own studio. Like studios, their games aren't coming. They're just putting remakes out. Like, is this really the third parties who are putting some stuff out? And even then, it's not as much as it used to be. Well, like first of all, you had your first parties really putting games out too, a lot in a year. Like you had time where, and then like Xbox, like they weren't coming out with no games and nothing like that, and they finally did, and it's okay, but it's like but it's already lost because you didn't sell a lot of consoles to people, man. It's like you're so behind. And I said this sucks. And it also sucks that Nintendo is getting away with selling their games without these discounts. Even though don't go on a Reddit forum and say that, damn, because apparently everybody say, oh, I got Mario Kart for only $50. And I always hate it, Daniel, because people ask them where they get it, but they don't want to answer. They don't want to. And it's just pissed. Hey, I was like, where? And it's like, and that's the thing with the like when we say that we say Nintendo doesn't bring them down. Like they have those rare sales that they have, and it's only like $5. You might get lucky, get $10 off. But the people who are usually saying they find these prices, that you have to shop. And I'm lazy. Like I just want to go to Amazon and see a sale. Like I don't like. I give me Amazon, and then the most I'll look is Walmart. Like I do some now. I kind of do look at Target because I use my sister's Target card, but it's. I mean, I don't buy video games like that anymore. So, but I'm saying if I was going to look for a sale, those are the three places I'll look for. I shouldn't have to freaking shop at these obscure other places or go on eBay all the time to find like somebody. Hey, okay, they sold theirs for like half the price of what it was, or something like a used one. And I'm gonna get a new one. I want to get a new game for that price. And also, I also don't want to have to buy it physical. I want the digital copy. And
which
like
only
so
limits your options more. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, hey, but we get those sales for Xbox and the PS5. So Sony, but you don't get that with Nintendo.
No.
It's like I don't yeah. It's like, so you got this. You got basically another console where they don't even bring down their prices, but that's like the top selling one. This is not good. It's like this is very expensive. Like you can say what you want, like, oh, say video games are expensive. Like it's a video game expensive hobby. It's an expensive hobby, but in actuality, it's really not that expensive. I think we're just that broke because it's really not that compared to like PC. It's not that expensive. Like it's not this. It's more expensive than movies, but I think it's okay. And I mean that compared to, like I said, time, like not just the money, but the time, because it's like you can't. It could be a lot of games. So a lot of games came out this year. You're not going to be able to play them all anyway. So don't even think like, oh, I'm going to buy them all and I'm going to play them all. Yeah, it's like you're not going to have time. Like unless you're like strictly a kid, like you could do that, or you just got some reason you have no hours of work. But even then, it depends what type of games you're talking about. You're talking about like games like 30 hours, man. That's a long time, yo. Like 30 to 6 hour games or something like that. That's a long time. You're not talking about like getting 6 games and they're like maybe at the most 10. At the most 10. So that's 60 hours total for all of them. You're talking about games that are like over 20 hours per maybe each or so. And then if they're multiplayer, who knows? If they're multiplayer game that you like, man, that's a ton of hours. So don't So that it doesn't make sense. Like this is definitely you gave me. You can't say it's great. Like it's not looking good. It's not looking good, and I don't know, man, because it makes you like take a step back to look at what else is going on in the world, and it's like, oh man, like it's gonna suck because it's gonna be the first thing that goes for me, and that's the thing that was keep me sane, and that
Yeah.
sucks. It's just- now
That's
I gotta go
especially
deal
like
with.
when I'm already like trying to stay with the hobby. I talked earlier about like what I'm feeling pushback against games, and I want to stick with it, but
And
when
they're
you have
doing it
stuff
too
like
sometimes.
this,
And they're doing it. They help you with the pushback. Like you might all your
yeah.
life does that. Then have them to do that too. Like, hey, we're gonna raise the price here.
Exactly, because like you've talked about how like you feel like you're being priced out of this stuff. Like you just said with the Nintendo stuff. And when we talked about like the Switch announcements and the $70 and the $80 games and stuff. And for me it was like, okay, like occasionally it's going to be this game. I'm not going to buy every Nintendo game. You know, I can kind of deal with that. But then when we're talking about like a $30 a month thing, this was the first time where I really felt like, okay, they are literally just like trying to price me out of this. I don't know that I want to interact with this hobby anymore because this is the way that I was playing these new games, these more obscure games. It was giving me the opportunity to like find something that I want to play cuz the reality is like outside of like Tony Hawk, I think no, I didn't even buy that because that was, a Game Pass thing.
Yeah, you just bought the first
Outside
one.
of like the Nintendo, yeah, outside of the Nintendo games, I'm hard pressed to tell you like what the last game, Hades now, but I bought that on a Nintendo console. But outside of those games, like I'm hard pressed to tell you what game I last bought because otherwise, okay, I'll either play it on Game Pass because it's there, or like it'll probably eventually come there and I might try it out there.
Oh, did you buy
So
something at the Island Wake?
ah, maybe, maybe, but yeah, that's probably been it, and that's what been 2 years. That wasn't last year,
At least
right?
that's the most
Or
high,
was
probably
that
like the
last
most
year?
high profile game anyway.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think of another
So
high profile game.
that that's been about it. But if you take Game Pass away from me, I'm not necessarily going to be more inclined to buy more games. It just means I'm going to interact with games less, which is going to push me out of this hobby, and I don't like that. This has been a consistent for me since my youth, and I enjoyed at least games, and I obviously still do. I mean, we talk about it every week. Um, but it making it harder for me to find those games that I'm gonna find the most enjoyment out of it. Something like Tinykin. I'm pretty sure that was a game that was on Game Pass,
Yep.
and I ended up absolutely loving that game, and it's been one of the games that, like, in the past couple of years, like, definitely got my attention and kept me with it more than any other thing,
Yeah, and Vampire
and
Survivor
that's
was mine.
because of yeah, and Vampire Survivors, because we had the opportunity to get them. Maybe eventually, especially at $5 for Vampire Survivors, like,
I mean,
one
yeah,
of
but
us would have
I would
picked
have
that
to.
up.
But that's the thing. Well, yeah. Well, I haven't even tried it. I don't know if I would tried it.
But that's what I'm saying is like maybe
Oh yeah,
eventually if there was like
yeah.
enough
Oh yeah.
buzz going around and like podcasts we listen to where I said like, hey man, like I've been hearing really good things about that. Like that's what's that? Mega Bonk, the one I was telling you about last week that's like a 3D version of that.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
part of me is like, "Oh, maybe I'll pick that up eventually," because I'm hearing really good things about that. You've been super into roguelikes recently, especially, like, Vampire Survivors type stuff, and I enjoy them a lot. So, I think that's like at most $14 game, but I think it's like an $8 game or something like that. So, like, you'll get me with those types of things where it's like the low cost of entry, something
Oh
absolutely
yeah,
under
yeah.
$10, you can usually grab me. Under $20, I'm gonna think about it a little more, but I'll probably do it. Anything more than that, like there's a good chance you're just gonna get written off and
Oh,
maybe
Outer
a pop up
Wilds.
on
Outer Wilds.
PlayStation Plus. Outer Wilds, yeah.
That was actually a launch. Yeah, that was one of those new launch games that's not exclusive games. It was because that came at the same time as Outer Wilds came out the same time as Void something.
Void Bastards.
Yeah, Void Bastards. Yep, they both came on Game Pass, and they both were like talked about like Void Bastards. That first I was really looking at Void Bastards, then Outer Wilds. That just grabbed me, and I would never have tried it. I would never have played that game, honestly, because even people talking about how good it is, I would have said, "Oh, that looks like." I would have looked at it and said, "Okay, that seems all right." But I would just probably have looked at it and said, "Oh, it's one of those artsy fartsy games or something like that," and not try it because I was only able to try because it's on Game Pass, so I was like, "It's free. It's not me buying it," so I was like, "Yeah, let me go try this." And I was just playing around, man, and yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I would never have touched that game.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is a very bad sign for the industry. I think this absolutely means we're going to be seeing a PlayStation Plus increase in their price very soon as well, and probably not add any sort of level of features. I don't think we're going to necessarily see like the PC streaming stuff that
What new
you
game
want
is coming to PlayStation now? Ghost of Yota. Is there another game this year?
I don't think so. I mean, we've
damn.
got Soros at the beginning of next year from the Returnal developers.
And then when does the Naughty Dog game come out? They don't have a date yet, do they?
I don't think they have a date on that yet. We got Wolverine next year. That'll be late next year.
That's gotta be Naughty Dog game. Gotta be next year.
Game being 2027 then.
Well, but really? I thought it was next year. I thought it'd be next year, man.
I could. I mean, if they already have.
I mean, unless it's a delay, yes. But I think it should be like next year. That game, man, that's crazy.
I think you also have to consider, next year you're going to have everybody just kind of relying on Grand Theft Auto also. So I think even if you don't necessarily,
that's what my friend was saying. He was saying like, because he was just thinking about like what games he really
put that on Game Pass
want to buy, and he said like the only game he said is like he would get Gears because we play Gears, and Grand Theft Auto. Like that's really it. That's all really he could play. It's like this console, ain't really much for him. Because he don't play the games I play. And my other friend, he really mostly just plays sports games, and he'll play Grand Theft Auto 5 every now and then, like multiplayer. If he's playing with somebody, he don't play by himself with that shit. And he'll play Gears. Like Gears is really it. But yeah, it's really man. Yeah, that price is not good. Now that middle tier, yeah, I mean, like you said, but it's almost like, man, I feel like you should still put your. I don't know. Should it be now? Here's the thing. They said that their is it just them their games.
So that's the thing. What I was going to say is honestly, I hope like that just means their games because like PlayStation Plus gives you third party like indie games, like the same way Blueprints was free on Game Pass.
And that was the middle tier, right? And that was the middle tier one.
Yeah, is included with the PlayStation stuff. So honestly, I could be happy with that if I'm missing out on Indiana Jones, but I'm getting Blueprints. Or something like that. Then that does become a little more enticing. I think, like we mentioned earlier, I think mine renews at the $20 price during this month, and then in November is when I would have to contend with: am I going to pay $30? No. Am I going to pay $15? Maybe. And depending on what is out by then, what I'm playing, what you're playing, like that'll be a conversation that I think we have. and it might just end up being me taking a break, and then eventually I go, oh hey Dominic, I saw this game on here, I'm gonna sign back up for Game Pass, hop on.
Yeah, because there's other game like there's some games on just my PC through Steam,
Yeah.
Epic that I can play up here, man.
So
I
it
got this
might be one of
Dying
those
like the
things where I
Beast.
take a break, and then honestly, once I'm out of it, like it's gonna be harder for them to get me back in than to just keep me,
Yeah,
which is the argument I was making
you have
earlier.
to
Like
you have to impress me.
you gotta impress me.
Yes.
You gotta,
Yeah,
that's I was thinking a lot like what I would like to do before I lose Game Pass access is I would like to beat South of Midnight. But like I think that's really the only game on there that they've
yeah,
released
me too.
that
And
I'm
I
like, oh, I want to get like Avowed. I thought Avowed was cool. I like the idea of Avowed, but
that's how I felt too because I did download South of
I'm
Midnight
never gonna
also.
finish that game. That game's gonna be too long, even for it being one of
Yeah,
those shorter things, I feel like. And Outer Worlds 2, maybe I'll dip into just because 'cause I'll still have access. It'll, be content for the podcast, but it's gonna be a game that's gonna
because I'm even
require
thinking
30
like
plus hours.
maybe I hope if it's good enough, maybe I'll just go ahead and just buy it then. So
Yeah.
then like whatever. Because
And, like
I was just looking at I forgot that London came out for that London mod that came out because I listen to podcasts and stuff, so I don't hear
what's
it,
the
and it's not
mod?
the Fallout. I'm sorry, Fallout 4 London mod because I just saw something for like
Oh,
an
okay.
update for it, and I was like, holy shit! I said I want to try that, and I honestly can just because I can just like to stop playing anything else, just go and just do that and just play that game. Let's
Yeah,
just try that out, man, because that sounds like really cool. Like, and I don't mind going back to that world.
that is neat. I forgot about that. Yeah. And that's a game we already have on Steam, so it's not like,
It's just a lot
we
of
need
things
anything.
I can do, and yeah, so it's always one of those things with like, oh, it's there. It's like just to have there, but
Mhm.
you know, once you cut it off, man, you'll get used to it.
Yeah. That's what I'm afraid of though, is I'll get used to it, and it's also just gonna mean I'm playing games less.
Yeah,
I
plenty of
I
stuff. You still have not beaten. What Zelda have you haven't beaten? You have not beaten the ugly one and the one that has bad controls. It's Twilight Princess. It's
Gotcha.
boring looking. It's boring looking.
I don't
I mean,
disagree.
you know what? People like that because apparently they like Dark Souls. So maybe that's what it's all about, man.
Yep, that's what it's all about. I do wonder, like, a lot of the games I think what I'm gonna have to contend with are, like, what is what is my daughter gonna play? Because like, right now, a lot of the stuff that she'll
She's
play
waiting
is
for
like,
Grand
"Oh,
Theft Auto.
there's" Yes, this is the only game I'm buying, so you're just gonna have
You
to
can play
play
as a woman.
it.
That's-
There you go. Yeah, but, like, we never bought the Bluey game because it was on Game Pass. We never she plays the Barbie game, she plays the Paw Patrol game.
yeah,
Those
I
aren't
see that
games I
Barbie
would
up here.
necessarily buy, but because they're on Game Pass, she can absolutely play them. But at the same time, like, just like with myself, if I don't make available those games for her, she's just not gonna play games, which is gonna keep her out of the hobby then. At least until she's a little bit older and maybe is able to see this stuff, online
And you're
herself
not,
or
you
friends at
don't know
school are
what to
talking
do in sports. So what's she gonna do? She gonna play the violin? Anybody instruments or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, my wife's family, a couple of them were big on the instruments. Yeah.
But what instruments did they play?
Send her to piano lessons. What did they
Piano.
play?
Yeah, piano. Yeah, of course.
See, now you're putting me on the spot. I'm not answering these
probably
questions. You're
string.
trying to
It's
dox me,
probably
Dominic. That's it.
yeah, piano or string instruments.
It was
You ain't
definitely
gonna
string
play.
instruments.
You ain't gonna, play no soul, nothing with soul in it.
Viola. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
So
At least learn how to play the banjo, man.
from her heritage.
No, her Florida heritage, man.
Exactly.
Get the banjo out there.
The banjo is heritage, not hate, Dominic. Thank you. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how this affects things.
Man, what the hell is those things called, Daniel? Shit. What's that clothing called? No, yeah, well, that too.
Overalls?
What's the overalls? Yeah, get her overalls.
She's a child, Dominic. She has 5 pairs of overalls already.
Oh yeah. And then she got
the only appropriate people to wear overalls.
Exactly. It's always so weird to me. Yeah.
And you know why? Because they have diapers on. Once you're out of diaper age, you don't wear overalls anymore because it's hard to poop.
Yes, exactly. That's what I always said. I was like, yo, it's like you gotta take all that all just to use bathroom. I said that sucks as a that's why I don't see women wear overalls. It's not like no women wear overalls.
That's why the romper fad came in and went out just as quickly as it came in, Dominic.
Yeah.
You don't see people wearing rompers anymore. All right. So yeah, that is the death knell for video games, Dominic. We're gonna hit the next crash. Wonder if Nintendo can pull us out of that again. Yeah. All right. Was there anything else from either this week or maybe last week that we want to revisit?
Not that I can think of.
All right.
I think I'm good.
All right. New releases then, Dominic. We got Absalom, that's out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5. I had seen some mentions of this. I saw a review on Game Informer, but I had not internalized too much what that game actually is. It looks cool, though. It has a very, I want to say like Saturday morning cartoon, but with much improved visuals.
This. Is it like a yeah, because is it the studio, I don't know if the same people who actually developed it, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the
.mu. Okay, yeah, I see there. Okay.
The Ninja Gaiden, I believe, game that came out recently.
Yeah, Ragebound.
And then isn't that is a Double Dragon one going to be under them too?
I'm not sure about that. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them. Oh, Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage was under them. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, but this game looks really cool. And it's got a 9 on Game Informer, so it is reviewing pretty well from some of the stuff that I saw.
They publishing. I forgot. Yeah, they're publishing the Cosmic Invasion. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, that MU man. They bringing some games out now. Like quite a few this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Ninja Gaiden came out this year.
Yeah, and that game from the demo I played seemed awesome. Reviews were really good on that one too. So yeah, that's a game to look out for. We also have Yooka Replayly out on PC, Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. That is a revisiting of Yooka-Laylee or Yuka.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Yooka-Laylee.
I did not know.
That is a game that, I wanted to like. Yeah, it's clever, Dominic.
It is.
That's a game I wanted to like a lot more. It's supposed to be kind of a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, and in some ways I think they nailed it. In some ways I think they didn't, and in a lot of ways it may be just not a game for its
I don't think they
time.
did.
Banjo-Kazooie was,
They
you
ain't got a
don't think
banjo.
yeah, I think Banjo-Kazooie was
I
a
need the I
game
need
that,
the banjo.
at the time, it was a different time, and just making another one of those maybe it doesn't work in a modern setting.
I don't,
Um,
man. It was the time of the
I did
banjo thing. But it's not the
I
time.
did enjoy
Not
their
not the time for
2D
Yuka.
sequel though, like, ironically enough. I played more of that and
Oh yeah,
beat
I
that.
forget. I forget they made that. Like they had a
Yeah.
2D one.
So, yeah, I'm interested to see what they actually changed and improved with Yooka Playly, if it actually is, if they added enough, because otherwise, like, why even make a quote unquote kind of remaster of that? Why wouldn't you just put it out again and put very little work into it, I guess? Um, yeah. All right, Dominic, we also have Battlefield 6 out now on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X. Have you seen like a general vibe off of this yet? Are people happy?
I don't know. I just saw that that commercial that was joking about Call of Duty. I think that was pretty
Mm,
funny. They're making fun of it. Have you seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's just like it's showing a bunch of actors coming in, like the Call of Duty commercials had actors.
Mm.
So they kind of walk. It's like you see it was a basketball player. There, why can't I remember his name? Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler. There was I think Zach Efron. There was some other
Oh
actors
wow.
too,
Okay.
and then they just like they kind of walking out, and they just boom, like a something explosion, like they just get killed, and then
Oh, you know what? I did see. I think this played in front. Like I was going to watch a trailer on IGN, and this started, and I thought it was like a Warzone skins pack
uh-huh,
like commercial, and
yeah,
I just didn't pay attention to it at all. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
So and then they just show like real soldiers fighting. It's like they say like we don't do that stuff, even though they did. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was funny. But I don't know. I mean, I see reviews. I saw some reviews that they seemed okay with the game.
Yeah.
It was 6. What is
I mean,
people
coming out
saying?
of that beta, it seemed like people were pretty positive on it. So hopefully it gets some traction and
I think some
doesn't just
reviews are in probably they were in some progress. I
reviewing
think last
progress
time I
type
saw it.
stuff. Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me. Because really, like, the game just launched, what, like Friday, I think, officially. So yeah, I would not be surprised if reviewers have not spent a significant amount of time in the multiplayer, which is really what you're going to be reviewing for this game. So,
Game Informer gave it an 85.
okay.
The Gamer gave it an 80. This is a few of them. Like, and not
I mean, the
everybody's done it
gamer,
yet.
obviously.
Gaming Trend gave it a 95. PC
Mm.
Games N gave it a 90. I don't know, is that PC Games Nation? That's what the N stand for, or what? What does that
New
stand for?
Zealand.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, here's some 75 by True Gaming, and Hey Poor Player. They gave it a 70 also.
Speaking directly to me.
I know, man, Darren, man, that could have been us, Daniel. We could have been Hey Poor Player, but hell, they got the game though.
Gaming
I would have.
plebs.
Wait a minute. Did he get it donated too? They got a review copy. How the Hey Poor Player get a review copy, man? God damn it.
So they
They're
probably
not.
asked for it, Dominic.
Well, we gotta say we're poor too.
I think I don't want to say we would get a lot of games if we asked for them, but I think we would get more games if we asked for them than if we just don't ask for them, which is what we currently do, Dominic. So
Yes, well, what that? Yes, that makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense. So I'll point you in the right direction of like where to ask, and then maybe we'll
Yeah,
start
because
getting some of these.
I'll get Chat GPT to write me something for I
There
can
you
send to
go.
him.
So it's working out for us.
That's
All
what
right,
AI
Dominic.
should
We
be used
also
for.
you'd be surprised. It
Getting
is.
free,
It is
getting
being
free
used for that.
stuff. Yeah, getting free stuff. That's
I mostly use it to send emails to companies about how dissatisfied with their product I am, so I get a whole bunch more of that product for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Dear Totinos, I was very dissatisfied with
I was
your
like,
latest
write this
pizza.
as if I'm 60, like 8 years old or something, like a old man, senior citizen. Like,
Write this as if my shit doesn't stink, and my review will be very important if I somehow,
or like Grandpa Simpson
post
or
on the
something.
internet. Yep. Write this in the voice of Grandpa Simpson.
It's like he'll
All right,
just
Dominic.
he'll go off in some tangent about something else though.
We got a Little Nightmares 3 that's out now on PC, Nintendo Switch 2,
Yes,
PS5.
it's so funny how we
Xbox
saw
Series.
we played the first one at PAX back in
Yeah.
2017. We first saw that game, and I played some of it. I was scared, even though I was in a hall full of people and lights and everything. And
Yep.
yet I was still scared. But I had to keep playing because I was like, I can't get embarrassed myself.
Yeah. And it still looks just as scary. I think this is the one made by the not original people.
Yeah, I saw one review. I think it was Game Informer. It wasn't so high on it. But I don't think it was like a bad score though. But
let's
Little
see.
Nightmares
Metacritic
3.
is a 78 right now.
Yeah, okay.
Let's
That's what I thought.
Review all. Let's play video games. 95. Video Gamer 90. XGN 90. Dual Shockers 90.
Steam got mixed reviews, man. For the first.
IGN's got an 88.
IGN. Okay.
Game Informer.
Well, this guy on Steam, he said, I paid over $40 for this game and got only about 2 to 4 hours of gameplay. I was honestly shocked when I saw the credits roll. Good God, 2 to 4 hours? It felt like a little like a scam. This was one of the most anticipated titles of the year as well, which made it the disappointment worse. The story misses so many key points that made the original great, and this game just doesn't capture that. Gameplay wasn't as smooth as the originals, although the combat was fun addition. The art style took a big turn, focusing more on flashy visuals than creepy, atmospheric style of first game. Second game also leaned towards better graphics, but somehow managed to maintain a really creepy setting. The single player experience was also disappointing. Teamwork with the AI felt clunky and slow, especially compared to the second game, where 6 felt much smarter. I guess that's a person's name, and more like a real person. He got a lot more to say, but he did not like the game.
Yeah, 7.5 on Game Informer. So yeah, you know what that means, Dominic? A 2.
Yeah,
Game Informer's giving you a 7.5. You're not doing too hot.
I said my mom's retired.
Dominic, then the last one I got here. You're good. Yeez versus Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga is now out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5. Did you know that this was a thing? That they had a crossover?
No, I mean, not. Well, it's just it seems like it's a battle game. Almost.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it plays either if it plays like a Smash or like a Power Stone. I don't know, but it looked like it's like a smash up of the two franchises.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure they got some story to make sense of all that, but yeah. What? Hold on. Let me see. Wise versus. Oh, here we go. Finally, the walls between Falcom's legendary RPG series are broken for the Ultimate Dream matchup. Support of beloved characters across Famicom titles.
Jesus.
Aid you in the fight. Yeah, it's a 3D fighter. Yeah, it's like a fighting. Yeah, it's like a party fighting game. Like you can. I guess it's 4 players.
Because I thought that's what it would be, but then I saw some gameplay and I was like, "What is this?" And okay, now that you give me that context that it's like a Power Stone kind of thing, or 3D arena fighter, but isometric. That makes
exactly. Just someone say this game is like like if Smash Brothers and Soul Calibur had a baby.
Not brothers.
And that's what he said. And it was raised by, he said they had a baby and they're raised by Jedi Academy. It's not on a 2D plane. The courses have high and low objects you can navigate around that makes things a bit more interesting. Beach is a lot more, but yeah.
Well, that's
what that is.
Because I was worried that this was an RPG and then you were going to fall down the Yeez hole.
Well, I was thinking about doing that. Going down the Yeez hole.
This is what Game Pass has done to you. You're like, I can't go forward. I'm going to go back.
Yeah. All right. So that's it.
That's it. All right. We'll wrap this podcast up. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. We're also on Blue Sky at superpod.com, at regulusmb.sky.social, and at DinoMan at DominicStalworth.bluesky.social. We also have a website as links. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, all the places you can find audio podcasts. Until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.